Welcome as we're getting ready now to kick off our grand finals. It's been a long road, a lot of games behind us, but well, to quote Vincent, we took the alternative road to the expected grand final.
We did. I mean, it was something that we could take a look at the 13 teams that came in here, Al, and we could kind of pick out the teams that we feel like should be here. Now, like you said, the route they got here was a little bumpy, right? It wasn't a clear paved path. It was a little bumpy, but in the end, we got there. We got Akimbo against Zomblers, Al.
Yeah, and that's what everybody was expecting, but it really looked like we might have been getting something else. We had a lot of upsets, a lot of teams really bringing some good Counter-Strike, and now all I can hope is that these two teams bring good Counter-Strike to the grand finals. This is a best of 5, everything on the table, and I just want to see a full-on brawl for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, again, we got ourselves a best of 5, and again, we got Akimbo, we got Zomblers, but
there's so much that goes behind it, and it's just, huge shout-out to the LAN Center for hosting this and providing us all this equipment. It's been sick, and a lot of players are really been impressed with the LAN Center, with the quality of the PCs, with the production. It's all gone honestly smoothly. We can only hope that keeps going to the grand finals. But we've had pretty small amount of tech pauses. So thank God for that, because
very much thank God for that. So
we've seen 40-minute delays on games before, even with doing stuff online, and
it boiled down to I could save money, and I could save money and drive. But I started making these 12 to 14-hour drives to Texas, and I love Texas. Don't get me wrong, great food, great scenery. It is a little hot, but I'm kind of getting tired of making this drive. I kind of want to go back to flying to Texas, because 2 hours versus 14 to 12 hours of driving is not fun.
It's a lot.
Right? I know it's your first time to Texas.
Right.
I know it's hot. But so far, I mean, I know you haven't been here long, but, I mean, have you at least enjoyed the little bit of time you've been here? Have you enjoyed Texas so far?
I mean, I've been having a great time. Granted, we've spent most of it in here, right?
That's true.
Tomorrow, you guys are leaving earlier than me in Respect, our observer. Me and him will be flying back together. So me and him are going to have some time to just go around, do some exploring and sightseeing and whatnot. But finally, we're able to kick off this grand finals. We've got Akimbo versus Zomblers. Akimbo starting on the CT side and Zomblers starting on the T side. Let's hope that this grand final can provide.
Yes, amen. So again, we're gonna have all of Zomblers hitting up this B side here. What can Roka show for us on this defense? Is he gonna be able to put up some resistance here and pop some heads?
He's trying to throw himself into the fight, but eventually taken down, and CKG Sunk are able to open up that site, get that bomb down. Now massive man advantage in Zomblers' favor as they're trying to convert this pistol. It looks likely to come through as CKG surges forward, 3K on the round. And Oreos, this man was a hero the last time we casted him, but this one surely is too far out of reach. He'll strip away one. There's still 3 more to go, and they're starting to stack up. They'll swing you together. Just a matter of seconds and the time becoming too far gone.
Yeah, this bomb is all the way gone. Doesn't matter if he gets the kill. Yeah, he wants to earn some money. Be nice, but you got Luke there finishing it off. CKG with a triple kill there to open it up. Zomblers with a pistol round to start this best of 5 on Overpass. Zomblers starting us off with a 1-0 fashion. Full buying up here, and we've got Akimbo who's going to go ahead and force buy into it. And as I was listening to Vincent and Cam on the last broadcast, we're going to start off with these force buy words, because honestly, if you don't force buy into it, your buy in the next round is not that great, so you can do your best to get these 5-7s and deagles on par, because you get one scout shot and it doesn't take much to take people out. So it's a great little setup they got going on.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how many tags Oreo can hit. That feels like it's going to end up being a bit of a focal point of the round, but now already dinked down to 14 HP. He'll start to back off and take a more passive angle. Dante in towards Khan right now, just waiting for a player to press up that staircase and go into the Molotov, and actually is able to pick up that kill onto Luke 4K. That's a Galil recovered. He's got armor as well, only 34 points of health. Can start to strip off some of these members that are crossing towards bathroom. That could be massive. We'll fire off some shots, flashed away from the angle, just backing off, try and bolster this A-site defense.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic of Luke to miss that spray there. So Dante taking full advantage, but he did take a ton of his health away there. And first contact from Dante is going to miss that as well, not able to control his crosshair there. And as Zomblers go to attack this A site, they actually back off and they want to maybe potentially head back towards Khan. S5J might be able to catch somebody in the back here. If he keeps going, he needs to keep going, but he stopped right before it. Oh, this nade should be beautiful.
That's That's a nice nade. It takes down one player. Now we're back into this 3v3. That con wrap doesn't work out, so Roka left alone in a matter of seconds. 1v3 on his plate. He'll take down the first. Still 2 more to find, and he's surrounded by a smoke. Going to be so hard to work his way out of bank here. Jumps out with a flashbang, and it's just way too much for him to handle. Zomblers with a 2-0 start.
Yeah, and Prime getting himself a nice little multi-frag as well there. And so, again, Zomblers just not pushing forward when they feel like they have the space, and they're playing very smart. They have been playing all weekend. They came out of the group stages flawless with a 3-0 fashion in the round-robin stages there, and pretty much have been flawless all the way to this point here. They've had a few comebacks that they've had to actually manufacture themselves. So this is a team that knows how to close out matches. And that's a beautiful thing. You wouldn't be at this point if you didn't know how to close them out. And so what the point I'm trying to make is, like, it doesn't matter if they're down. It doesn't matter if they're up. You can't sleep on this team. Zomblers right now are on a tear, and it's going to be really hard for Akimbo. I'm not saying that Zomblers have any way that they're not going to be able to win. I can't say Akimbo can't win, but Zomblers have just they're on a different level right now.
It's been such a strenuous journey to this point for both teams. Thought it might have been a dominant showing, but both of them tested here in San Antonio. Now, finally, with a chance to close and try and take that grand prize. 4v4 now, thanks to the deagle of Serum, or Dante rather, picking up that first frag, and now we just let the map go quiet here. Zomblers not wanting to overplay their hands. They don't want to overstep into these upgraded pistols. They know a round like this can spiral out of control, but you've got to manage your time well. If you let it run down, you could find yourself in a very panicked situation. Luke 4K through bathroom. He'll link up with his teammates out long, and they're going to go for this A-side execute.
Yeah, and this A site is very underprotected. You have Oreos who's getting some information, but he's getting the wrong information. CKC just missed the timing, but he should be able to take Oreos out right here. If he actually peeks. Oh, the timing got missed.
The information is so wrong right now, and now he'll turn his back as I think he was hearing some utility going down on the A site, but CKG on that lurk shuts him down. Zomblers looking poised to close out yet another round. A 3-0 start would certainly feel great going into your grand final for map 1.
Yeah, and they're just looking for some exits. I don't think they're actually going to try to retake this. Get some exits. If nothing else, just try to strip some of these guns away. You would love to take an AK into the next round, into your buy round, and also earn some team money here from the shared rewards there. But Sunk is just on another tier. I remember hearing him, just constantly going into the feed there. And Sunk with a triple kill there is continuing the success he had from the last series that he had against Zealous. And so that is a name that you need to look out for. I know that I was saying Luke a while back, but Sunk right now is just locked in. Sunk is somebody who's got his crosshair in the right place. So for anybody out there watching right now, keep your eye on Sunk. He is definitely somebody that needs to, just keep your eye on him. And I'm not saying that Akimbo don't have anybody else, because Oreos is bringing out this AWP, and when he gets hot, he's hitting shots. He'll even hit no-scopes. You need to be careful when Oreo has an AWP in his hand.
When he's got an AWP, anything is possible. Like you said, no-scopes, quick flicks, and we even saw a collateral earlier from him today. So this could be exactly what Akimbo need to sort of shift the momentum of this game. Zomblers should be prepared for something of this variety, though. It's been a little while here for Akimbo to build up that loss bonus, so they should know that they're coming into a full buy, and that AWP is very well on the board.
Yeah, they're trying to get some of this control, but every single person for Zomblers is over here on the long side. And Akimbo only have 2 players over here. He did spot that out. It's going to be a nice flash to be able to kind of slow him down to hit everybody. Missed shot out of Warriors, uncharacteristic of him, and he's going to start calling in the troops. He's going to realize there's a lot of people over here, but CKG needed to get that kill, or Dante needed to get that kill on the CKG, but Prime comes in, takes Oreos out, and that's the ace site lost and gone. And now what can Glorans do to get back into this? It's going to be near impossible for this to go ahead and get this retake in. When you're trying to retake A on Overpass, doing it from bank is just suicide.
So much came in a matter of seconds for that A-side execute. Just completely overwhelmed by the utility as the AWPer, so there's no way into this round. Serum already on the
get him, Serum.
hunt, though. He might catch them with back turn. There's no way that they anticipate somebody this close up this quickly. Spot one going towards Pillar. He hasn't managed to spot out anybody in a position where he can kill him, but information being relayed, so CKG is able to cut them off over
look
towards
at this. They're surrounding them.
This punch is so well orchestrated. Glorens is going to at least be able to hold on for a double kill, but there's still more coming in. Luke trying to close in from the T-spawn. S5J, he's now down. That's another M4 off the board. Glorens is going to be the only one able to carry anything over.
Barely able to carry it over. I didn't see exactly how much health he had, but barely able to carry it over into the next round. But, I mean, at that point, Zomblers were just chasing them down. They don't want them to keep anything into the next round. And this is turning into that situation that I just told you, that you need to end this as fast as possible, because the longer that this goes, I know we talked about BO3s, that you typically can potentially get better as the game goes on, but not in a best of 5. In one of those situations, you just need to end this as fast as possible, because your mental just starts getting drained left and right, and you just have to find the grit to keep going in a best of 5. So the faster you get this over with, the faster the happier you're going to be.
Glorens with the only M4 in this round, but the 5.7 is going to at least be enough for Dante to work with. Now he's upgraded to an AK. That's a bit more danger on the board here, as Zomblers have to adjust to this 4v5 situation with 2 rifles now available to the CTs. Sunk just trying to hold the line, make sure that there's no flank coming in from that con position. Now a pivot. Map goes quiet as Akimbo are trying to set up some trap plays here, it seems. Serum deep inside of Con. Will they expect Dante to be still tucked in here? They seem paranoid about it, but how long will they hold this? They start to turn their backs, but they're completely silent in their drop. Dante has no clue that 4 Ts have now made their way through Con. Zomblers start to set themselves up for this B-site execute. Smokes will now start to pour in, trying to cut off these angles. But S5J with 5.7, he's close. Could be massively impactful there, but it won't connect. Now Glorens has to get active with this M4. Smoke cutting him off, but they can't get onto the site and plant right now, and they're running low on time. Tap on it, trying to bait out a reaction, but that 5.7 is able to pick one off. It's just trades back and forth, but still, Zombler's not able to get this bomb down, and the time is so low. They just have to try and go for these kills. Oreo tries to hold on, but it's just narrowly a Zombler's victory.
Yeah, because Zomblers at that point, the only way they can win the round, you can't, in the 2v2, you can't sit there and plant the bomb and allow your teammate to sit there and try to block you. At that point, with the time being low, you have to go for the kills, and they were getting close. Like you said, they were getting close to time, but there was nowhere for Oreos to go because he was stuck in water. He had nowhere to back up to. He needed all that cover. He had to win that fight, but unfortunately, it goes the way of Zomblers, and that's a 5th on the board. They are on fire right now. 5 in a row for Zomblers to start this overpass.
Akimbo need to stop this bleeding right now. It's starting to get out of control. Rifles back out, and they got really close in the last, so hopefully that's at least able to give them some confidence into this rifle round. Roka tucked in towards Toxic right now. Okay, it seems like we've got a disconnect. I'm not sure if the round is live, but looks like we're going forward with the execute nonetheless. Roka with one. S5J post defense towards Pit. He's just trying to hold on, buy time for the rest of the rotate, but he gets felled nonetheless. Sunk into the feed. Glorens backing off already. He's waiting for Dante to get here to support.
Yeah, I mean, I think they want to go for this. You know, even though they lost Oreos there in the beginning, the bomb hasn't been down, so it's not necessarily they even want to go for retake. They're just trying to make sure that they don't overextend because Zomblers are looking for the rest of the players here. Glorens is going to go back up thinking they might have gone back through Con. Bomb's going to go down. Dante should be giving this information away. And Glorens is making sure nobody's doing a wrap.
Dante will spot one out. Can't quite
doing?
take it off the head, but eventually he is able to spot that one out. So now Sunk in a 1v2 with that AWP. He's had a really solid game so far, but can he connect with this op? Not quite on the first. Now Dink down to only 20 HP. That allows Akimbo to scale on towards this site. One goes down. Dante out of the round. Glorens just holding the defuse. He doesn't flinch at all and holds it all the way. Sunk doesn't peek.
And loses the op.
Run away for Akimbo to get on the board.
Pros don't fake. You've got to check that. You're the one who planted the bomb. You've got to check for that thing. Pros don't fake. But I totally understand why he didn't go for it, because he knew where his position was at, and he got into the mind of Sunk, thinking that he's going to tap the bomb, waiting for him to peek, and he never peeked, and he held onto that bomb. And that was a perfect situational awareness coming in from Glorens to just stick that bomb. And again, now we're going to wait for the tack timeout or the tech pause. But again, you have that situation, and too many times I've seen the CTs sit there and tap on the bomb, and the T never peaks. And then when they go in for that second or third time where they tap on the bomb, it's like, all right, at some point you have to stick the bomb. And so that's when you basically force your hand, and they're going to call your bluff at that point, right? But you just have to have that poker face. You got to sit there and just hold on to it, and that's exactly what Glorens did. But I mean, that was a hero moment that came out of Glorens to be able to get them their first round on the board. I hate to say it, we're going to need more of those, but it's not even more of those. We're going to need more out of the rest of the team, more out of the rest of the players. Like it took an absolutely stupid way to win the round just to get them their first on the board.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we just need to see more out of the team as a whole. We need something to believe in, because you cannot replicate that. And so you need to start having consistent success across the map, because Zomblers have shown that they can absolutely steamroll you, and on top of that, outsmart you with the rotations. We need to see them start to adapt, maybe stack better for these sight hits, maybe faster rotates, and hopefully this tech pause doesn't last too long. But the bright side is that kind of forces Zomblers to simmer in this tech pause, and it's now going to have more time to sink in. They can't just reset and be like, all right, go next round. It's fine. It was a one-off, right? They have to sort of sit there and stew in it. And maybe that's just what Akimbo need in order to push this a little bit further.
Yeah, I mean, again, tech pauses are never fun, especially at this point of the tournament. A tech pause at, like, the beginning of a tournament, maybe even in a round-robin thing, you're like, it is what it is. You almost expect that to happen. But when we get to this particular point, again, I don't know what the issue is. But, again, when we get to this point of the tournament, that's when it becomes frustrating. That's when you sit there and you're like, we had the momentum, and now we have to stop. It's like, it's kind of like in soccer, whenever a player barely gets touched and he falls down, like, he's doing his best acting job, like, hey, my ankle got twisted. And it's like, you look at the replay, and literally, like, he went for the ball, and I think he might, like, scrape him or something. And that's what essentially is happening right here. I'm not saying that Akimbo are doing anything, but it's like, it's that point where you're like, man, we had the momentum, we were going, yeah, we lost a round, but it's like, hey, can we just get back going, because I'm warmed up, and then your hands get cold, then your crosshair gets going, you could change your position by an inch, and you feel uncomfortable. It's everything.
And for Akimbo, it's also maybe a little bit more motivating, because now they can sit and, like, okay, we found a way to break through. We just need to start replicating this. And, you get to think about it a little bit more. It's almost like you're not allowed to talk to your team,
right? Exactly.
And anything like that, but you as an individual can start thinking more and sort of dwell on where did you go right as an individual, or how do you exploit a potential weakness on Zomblers. I know that we had, like, a full drop from the server. I'm hoping that it's not, an issue that will last much longer, but I'm not sure at this point what exactly it is, and I just want to get right back into the action.
No, I agree. And, in this sort of situation, you're also, like you said, you're not allowed to talk to your teammates there. And you're not allowed to talk, even if you have a coach. They're not allowed to say anything. You just have to sit there, even if I even know at, like, certain levels, like, even if you can't even, like, look at each other, because, you can give each other cues or comms or anything like that. You just literally have to sit there, stare at your screen, hold your hands. You can use, like, something to warm your hands up or whatever. And, you can't even take your headsets off, right? It's just there's no communication allowed at this particular point at this level, and so we just have to make sure. But the positive is, we can make sure that we get, everybody, going wherever they got to be. We got to get everything going. We can kind of motivate it down to, the last, just the last two teams. And I know that the admins right now, we're trying to work it out, trying to figure out what's going on.
So I think that the major issue is that technically it happened early on in a round before any damage was dealt, and by Counter-Strike rules, usually that means that you reset the round. It's traditionally. But it was so close to the execute coming in. I'm not sure if that's exactly what the problem is, but it seems like we've got him back in the server. Like, things are okay, but we're figuring out sort of the rule set application of how do we go about this.
Because when you said Oreos had left the server, there was already damage done to Zomblers. There's some damage done, and the question is, it's a mixture. It's one of two situations. It's either whenever damage was done, or how long the round was actually played out, because those are two different situations, and so. Yeah, and so like when it comes down to it, like I said, the admins they look into that kind of stuff, they replay everything, and so it's not our job to make that decision. They make those decisions, they make those server resets and everything, and then per the rules, like I said, we get everything going. But again, it just boils down to whatever the issue was, whether it was a crash, whether it was a headset thing, whether it was like, hey, I'm trying to flag somebody down, nobody called, nobody blew a whistle or anything. Again, it doesn't matter. Like I said, they're going to make the decision whether the round gets played out or not. It's not, for us to be able to make that decision. So in the end, like I said, we're just sitting here waiting for that to get resolved, because, again, I know that they're trying to make sure that this is, followed, step by step to the rules, literally down to the second.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how this one's going to play out, but I mean, at this point, it's a weird scenario for Akimbo, because they were the ones who had a disconnect, but they still were able to get that round over the line.
Right.
So it's a weird situation, and hopefully we're able to get this resolved. But like you said, it's the admin. We're at the whim of the admins right now, and hopefully it doesn't take too much longer to get this resolved, because, like you said, in the grand final, you just want to go, right? And it's already, it's going to be a long haul. It's going to be a lot of games of Counter-Strike to cover, and so when you have to stop it, it puts everybody on ice, right?
On ice.
On ice, get it?
Yeah.
I was talking to my brother, and apparently he says that our casting team name is Frozen Slug. And we were talking about that a little bit in the car, but we like that. We vibe with it.
All right, so it looks like the decision was made to restart the round.
All right.
And go back, and basically the disconnect happened before either the time or the damage, and so they're going to restart the round. Again, we just work here. That's all.
Right. Yep. And I mean, Akimbo a chance to maybe have a bit of a cleaner victory as well, now that you have your opper back. More than anything, also, that op was definitely an expensive loss, so a chance for them to potentially have a bit of a better footing for this round, and we'll see if they're able to, once again, try and stop this early momentum. Dante with one, tries to drop down, but immediately taken out in Oreos. Shows what he can do when he's in the server. Brings out an off shot to keep man advantage in Akimbo.
Yeah, man advantage for Akimbo at the moment, and a little bit different of a situation than we had previously when they went to attack that B site. It looks like they're still going to lean toward this B site, bring the bomb in this direction, and make sure that they are set up for success. And that smoke coming in. Is S5J going to be ready for this? It looks like he's ready for that flash. He comes in. Nobody's flashed off of it. Serum's good for one, but that's about it.
S5J, a solid hold over towards Toxic. He's able to get 2 kills. Even brings Luke down to low HP. So all you need is for Glorens and Oreos to try and close this one out. You'll be able to keep that op and play. 2 players alive. And you'll get right back to winning that round. Luke can get the monster. It's anticipated, though. Glorens ready on the angle, and he'll shut that one down.
So in the end, the result was still the same. The only difference is that 1 extra player is left alive. So again, we still get the same result. A little bit different of how it happened. It was more of a kill versus, a defuse. But last time, like I said, we had Glorens with Glorens being left alive, and now we've got Glorens and Oreos being left alive, meaning that they can keep the weapons. Yeah, I want to call it a Glorin Oreo.
I love that.
I don't know what that means, but it just sounds cool.
All right, well, Zomblers get a second shot at that round, but the result is pretty much the same. Now they're going to go for this site pop, just trying to overwhelm the B site. S5J can't hold on from Pit. Prime with a double entry and triples it down as well. So Akimbo touch a round victory, but already have to back off and try and save these remaining weapons. Bye-bye.
I mean, that's pretty much what's happening right here. I mean, Prime getting the 2 opening kills there and ultimately getting 3 himself. And, Zomblers are going on a hunt right now. They're already in spawn coming up, close to the top of Con. And they're already on the hunt there. They are salty They're absolutely salty from the last round, not only losing it, then resetting, losing again, so basically losing 2 rounds. And they came in with what felt like vengeance, almost like when, you know, Chucky's coming back from the dead and he's got his knife in hand and he just like wants his revenge on everybody, or Jason coming back as well with his chainsaw. I mean, ultimately it's just, you know, Zomblers looked like they were pissed off. I couldn't even see their faces, but just the way that they were moving onto that B site just appeared that they were out for blood, and that's what happened there. They denied Akimbo from getting back-to-back consecutive rounds.
Yeah, Zomblers refusing to relent. Akimbo cannot get consecutive rounds, at least not yet, but they'll give it another try here as they have enough money to buy up these rifles again. Oreos holds on to that AWP. Dante in towards Khan right now did get ticked by that Molotov, and I think it should have been audible to Luke. So they should have an idea that there's somebody lying in wait here. Bunch of pieces spread across the map here for Zomblers. They've got 1 in Khan, 1 deep in water. The others spreading out towards this upper side of the map. So Oreos with this AWP, he might not anticipate them being this close on Party already. Very quickly find himself overwhelmed, and as Luke gets a kill onto Dante, things go from bad to worse here for Akimbo. As now they're spread thin across the map, and Zomblers can start to execute wherever they choose to.
Yeah, but they're just taking their time. Again, they're playing this very smart. Overpass is not a map that you just want to rush onto a site because you have so little information, and on top of that, you have so many angles to clear. I mean, that B side, you have everything from graffiti, you've got water, you've got default, you've got pillar, you've got monster, you've got toxic. There's so many different places to clear, and the same amount applies to the A side as well. You have so many different places to clear. You can't just rush on the site. You have to be smart and methodical, but there's only 35 seconds left on the map. They have to make a move, and it's drawing all of Akimbo over this B site. So Zomblers are actually about to walk into the stack, and they are in trouble.
A massive read here from Akimbo. If they're able to convert these kills, it could really start to rattle Zomblers, potentially. Roka lying in wait towards that pillar. He's got S5J to support him, but he catches a flashbang to the face. Both exchanging flashes. It's a Roka with a double kill, but there's another response here from Akimbo. Now into the feed. Oreos gets with that AWP close here on Pit, and there's a heaven wrap coming around. Sunk. Combat hopping around that smoke. He'll start to plant that bomb. Oreos, the last remaining hope. Low HP on Sunk, just trying to get him through that smoke. He'll swap out to the M4, but can't quite find him. And wow, Sunk just barely holds on and is able to secure the final kill as well, despite his low HP. He didn't even need that flank from Heaven.
I was going to say, I saw Luke the whole time on the mini-map start off at Divider and literally shift walk all the way down into Heaven. And like you said, the whole time literally wasn't needed. Sunk sat there the whole time with low HP inside the smoke, combat opping, and still was able to dodge all the bullets. And Akimbo were trying to figure out where the heck he was at, and he was right in front of the whole time. And like you said, Luke wasn't even needed. Sunk did everything himself, which goes to show the quality of this team. You know, every single person on this team is firing on all cylinders. We got Prime on double digits frags right now.
Dante with an opening kill. A redeeming quality here for Akimbo, something that they haven't grown very accustomed to, but Dante with a double here. Although Sunk is able to get one back, it's still man advantage here for Akimbo, and Dante's still holding on, just dominating over towards Party here. He gets another double kill, up to a 4K and looking for the ace. Or no, Glorens actually was able to get one at some point in the round, my bad, but Sunk now left in a 1v4. He clutched the last round, but this one's a bit of a more difficult task ahead of him.
Honestly, just throw this op away. Just throw the op away and just go die.
Yeah, you don't want them to be able to get their hands on it, but nonetheless, he goes down to Dante, so op recovered, and that's a massive pickup for Akimbo. Their second round, an AWP recovered, and now they can start to snowball this for a more competitive half, potentially.
Yeah, they've got to be feeling good about this. The amount of rounds that, Zomblers have won, they've got 7. They won 5 in a row, and then 2 more after that. Akimbo are looking to, double up and put all their chips in at this point to go ahead and get back-to-back rounds. But you got Zomblers right now that are just going full force into this. There's only one AK in this whole mix. You got a couple rifles outside of that. But Khalils and AKs, I mean, there's not many in the flurry here. And so Zomblers are looking to just cause some damage here. Hopefully, that AK on Sunk, the player who's been on fire, yeah, Prime is over there as well. But if you're gonna give the AK to a player, give it to your star rifle right now. Sunk is on fire, so why not let him go do Sunk things?
Serum just spotting out towards long, but Dante will tuck his tail and run. He doesn't want to overcommit to any of these angles, especially since he's currently the only one on the A site. He needs to bide his time for any rotates to come through, as Zomblers look committed, at least for now, to going towards this A site. Still plenty of time to pivot, but with 4 players scaling up long, it feels like they're destined to just throw in the utility and go for a standard exec here.
Yeah, you got Glorens over here who's here to back him up, and I was going to say if he had peeked just a little bit too far, he would have been met with some resistance, and all of Akimbo are on this B site. Zomblers need to hurry up and execute here, and this is where it's going to come in. That Molotov is going to be too little, too late, and that is the A site gone. A site's empty.
Glorens with so much pressure on him there with that utility sailing in, and they just can't hold on to that A site at all. Zomblers, easy entry into the site. With that comes the bomb plant, and Akimbo are already backing off for the save. They know that they can't get back into this, and on top of that, the money isn't looking great for rebuys, so they need these weapons brought over into the next round.
Yeah, I mean, 2K on Oreos, 2K on S5J. And you've got an AK and an AWP. You need to keep that next round. But that again, you tried to make the read on Akimbo. You put most of your players on the B site. Zomblers have pretty much conditioned Akimbo that they keep hitting this B site. So when they hit the A site, you know, if you're not ready and you're caught with util in your hands and your pants down, that's what's going to happen. You get overrun, and both Dante and Glorens are taken out, and you have no time to get back. I mean, this happens on a lot of different maps. S5J found CKG, but I mean, woo. You're still down 6 rounds. I mean, yeah, it's good for your mental.
Yeah, Zomblers up to 8 now, and with the potential of more as well. But them cresting past 7, we've said it before, is absolutely massive. There's a world of difference between 8-4 and 7-5. It's just there's something about the way it looks and feels going into the next half. It's just such a massive gap between the two, it feels like. So Akimbo at this point have to do damage control. They need to deny some of these rounds, or else Zomblers could have us going through a very quick map 1.
Very quick map 1 indeed, but again, I'm not counting Akimbo out because we have seen time and time again where they have managed to come back. This is a team that has probably played enough Counter-Strike to last 2 different generations altogether, and so they understand what it's like to be ahead. They understand what it's like to be behind. They understand what it's like to play a better team. They understand what it's like to play a lower-ranked team.
They know CKG's here, it seems. A lot of bullets going towards him, but he's still able to find his way out. Now trying to get through that tunnel, but eventually he'll be run down. Still able to get a kill despite that, though. So honestly, for your lurk player in that situation, that's a lot of work being done. The issue is Zomblers kind of pivoted to try and help him, so now they don't have the option of executing quickly onto that A site with the information that they had. They'll throw out a smoke towards Heaven, trying to just pull some of these rotations back to B, as now they're pivoting towards the A site, but Dante's so far forward, he knows that that's a fake. He knows that there's no execute coming down on B, and so they can just dig their heels in here at A. Oreos will be the first contact with that AWP, spots the barrel, first one goes down, now more scaling out. There's trades here for Zomblers as they start to break through. Glorens tries to hold on, but caught in transition, and now Dante so far removed, and he's got no way into that one.
How did they manage to pull that off? So again, CKG over there on the B site, he caused so much chaos that it kept all of Akimbo. It took literally the whole team of Akimbo just to take CKG down. And by the time that happened, they realized, hey guys, nobody's on the A site. They sent the rest of their team back to the A site, kept one on the B site. It was just Dante on the B site. He cleared everything out, which meant that they were in the right place at the right time, kept Akimbo over there, and they still lost out even though they made the right call. Akimbo are in trouble, Al.
They really are. And at this point, Zomblers with a chance at a 10. Utility is there for Akimbo. They've got all the rifles out, but it's the mental that we're concerned about right now. There's a double kill here in water. An attempt to get back into it for Roka. And now it's all left up to these 3 remaining members of Zomblers to hit double digits in the first half. If Akimbo can get 3, it's certainly far-fetched, but it's possible. A 10-2 feels way too much to demand of them.
I mean, where was this the first half, guys?
Might be a little bit too late to be coming awake, but this is a best of 5. Even if this map slips through, you've got plenty more ahead of you. But you need to start getting individuals online. You need to start getting these proper reads. You need to put Zomblers here on ice.
Come on.
Sunk with a
1v5
1v5
sunk. Come on.
Oh, that'd be such insult to injury. He'll go in for that first fight clean.
There's one right behind him.
Headshot, but he ends up taking a lot of damage. Just due to the nature of the fight.
Do it. Get this guy. Get him.
Nah. He doesn't clear it fully. Shallow clear. And Oreo's able to at least lock in a third. It's certainly possible for Akimbo, but man, does it feel like we're going to have to be for the long haul if they want to take Overpass.
I mean, we're going to be here for a long time on just map 1 if they even have a chance. And now Akimbo get to be on the T side, which is, honestly, I feel like is the easier side. I know everyone's going to have their arguments left and right, but when it comes to the CT side, I love this map, but I hate this map at the same time because do you be aggressive? Do you take a bunch of control? Do you get long control, bathroom control? Do you try to go down short and cut off monster? Like, there's so many different ways to play this map. And so with the CTs, it's just so hard to make those decisions where the Ts, you know, they can just go wherever they want. They can go long to bathroom, to con, to B, back to A. You know, you can do so many different things.
You have to play a lot from the back foot, it feels like, on your CT side. Your reactions have to be quick. Serum with a nice little tap over to Dante. And we can hear him frustrated as we hear a slam go down onto the desk. Roka doing his best to recover despite his teammates' frustrations. If Akimbo can pick up this pistol, then that possibly kicks off the retake. A ballsy jump there from Roka to try and strip one off midair. But in the meantime, Prime goes down. It's man advantage here for Akimbo in the post plant. If they can hold on to this and convert the next round, then perhaps we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take this and so many more. It's going to take this and so many more for them to come back. You know, this 6-round lead cut down to 5. Bomb got planted. Rifles are going to get bought up. But it's going to take so much more on top of that. And, again, there's just so many situations where I see Zomblers, you know, do more with less. And I'm looking at the situation here where I'm like, even if they lose this next one, you know, you're looking at Akimbo over here. They're so focused. They're so locked in. They're so ready. You know, you can see on their faces that they want to win this. You know, they want to take this quote-unquote trophy home, this prize pool home. But they realize that they're low. They realize that they're down. And I've seen Zomblers do more with less. And I would not be surprised if they just start hitting one-taps. You know, you start getting Sunk and Luke hitting heads with these things. So, again, I would just be very careful.
Feels like just about any round, Zomblers are a dangerous team. These Deagles really do tend to find their mark with them, it feels like. And MP9 still hits hard. Even despite that nerf, a lot of people still considering it to be the best SMG on this CT side. We'll see if they can put it to use here, though. As Akimbo prep for a B-site hit, they seem to have an idea that they're walking into a force buy right now, as they've been very cautious. They haven't just tried to steamroll their way through a site. Now they're tossing that utility deep inside of this A site. Oreos is going to go searching forward. Spots out one over towards Graffiti, so he just backs off. Doesn't want to overplay his hand. Akimbo play this one close to the chest, waiting for this retake to come in from the Zomblers, but you're giving them time to set up. We've got a flank coming in from the T-spawn, and if they're fast enough, they could catch players in the back off this pinch. CKG just biding his time, trying to jiggle out for information. Eventually caught out on that swing, though. Oreos gets back into the fray. Now they're trying to run down this position here. Luke just tucks in, waits. Time ticking away here for Zomblers, and they can't go for this one. They've just now set up for the exits and want to hold on to these weapons.
Now, like, I can kind of tell based on the way they're moving, they're going for exits. But look how many players over here from Zomblers are over here. There's 3 players. They're just going for some exit frags, trying to get some kills, getting people to die to the bomb. That's Sunk getting a kill. A bunch of people going down. Extra money. So they're doing not only they were not only trying to earn money for themselves, but they're trying to take some of these guns away. And look at the money over here. They're gonna have to keep these max 10s in the next round. They got a bunch of kills, earn a little bit of money. So it's a smart play for them. Like, I love when the CTs just go for the exit frags, even before the economy got changed. I love when they go ahead and do that and force them into it because, again, Dante's going to keep the MAC-10. S5J is going to go ahead and don his own. It got thrown over, and we only have three rifles in the mix.
Yeah, on top of that, it keeps the economy humble here for Akimbo. They don't have a lot to fall back on if they start losing rounds here, and might have some awkward buys coming forward. So that's what these Deagles are for more than anything. It's just to keep that economy humble, keep them on the back foot, and not with a lot of lifelines. So if you're able to break through for just one round, very easily could snowball to the rest of the game. Akimbo has to make it clean for this one, it feels like.
Yeah. Again, clean is the name of the game. And right now, Akimbo are playing very, very passive, thinking that they're going to get aggressive. But look at Serum and Prime. Oh, you got to hit that. Nice. Good job, Serum.
Here's the issue with Akimbo playing so passive. Zomblers are a proactive team, and they've already noted that Akimbo seems to be taking a slower pace to this T side, so he just starts stripping away space from them bit by bit. And now Akimbo has to work from behind. 4v5. Flash goes in. Luke able to dodge it. Not able to connect on the shot, though. A solid double out of Oreos here to try and open up this A site. CKG lying in wait at the truck. He's the last one remaining, and he'll get cut through, no problem. Akimbo, 3 rounds on the board for their T side.
Yeah, and you can hear that scream coming out from them, and they're starting to finally get activated. You know, after 1 or 2, after getting beat down, but now that you've had 3 in a row and you've really knocked them down, you're getting excited over an eco round, but it's still a win. It's still a round win. But it's now they're about to get tested. Sunk has an AWP sitting on 13 frags, topping the cert. Well, because not really Oreos is, but again, you've got an AWP sitting there on Sunk, and you still have MAC 10s on the backs of a lot of your teams. So again, aggression coming out from Zomblers. They want to get some of this control here. 2 of them pushed up of long, looking to try to get the opening frag here, and Roka's about to be tested back there, but he wins the fight out on Serum there. And Sunk's here to back him up, but I'm curious if they're going to peek into him.
They start to back off here.
Nice shot.
Brings out from Sunk, takes away that playground player. Roka out of the round, 4v4 now, as they got to figure out what site they want to go for. It seems like B. As they just start to position. A Molotov misses that sandbag's position. It just barely popped while the smoke was still there, so a bit of missed utility here for Zomblers. Could that be foreshadowing for what's to come out of this Akimbo T side? Perhaps a bit of a weakness to exploit. They're still primed and ready to go here onto the B site. It's a massive stack
has
here.
1 HP. When did he get there? Sheesh.
So low. He'll be dealt with by those MAC 10s, but now they're just going into this grinder now from Luke. He's able to just spray them down inside of Monster. More scaling out. Luke eventually taken down. They need to try and overwhelm the site. They need to break through CKG, and he holds on for 1 more. Brings down to 1v1, but Sunk can't hold on. The Opper goes down with no impact, and Akimbo are closing that gap rapidly.
Yeah, it was a 6-round lead for Zomblers, and now it's down to 2. And this is most likely going to go down to 1. The money is not great. They're going to half buy into this. Luke's double kill there outside of Monster was not enough for them to take it down. And taking a look at the money here, it's starting to actually build there for Akimbo, and the Zomblers right now are starting to just, like, you know, let this thing go. But Luke's going to force in an M4 and just try to be the hero of this particular round. And this is where you don't want to get out of your default here. You don't want to get out of the way you play, because look, now Luke's down, and that's your rifle out automatically. He was trying to make a play, and at that point, you're starting to get into the head rent-free of those of the Zombler players. Prime is good for 1 though, so they did trade it back. That's a free AK there.
Yeah, Dante not expecting a swing out from sandbags there. Akimbo now only at a 4v4 and a rifle recovered, so Zomblers might try and get a little bit crazier with this round. Serum so aggressive up bathrooms. He'll be noted by Oreos and taken down swiftly. Prime with a trade. Lauren's trying his best, but he can't hold on the A site. It's a 2v2 again. These teams are just going blow for blow right now.
He can't reload. He's got 7 bullets. He can't reload because they know he's back there. He can't reload.
7 bullets, 77 reserved. 777. Can he hit the jackpot here on a timing? He hears them going up onto this A site. He'll hear that bomb plan as well, but it's just a fake. They're trying to bait a reaction here. There's no audible one here from Zomblers, though, and they know that that's a fake at this point. It will be stuck this second time. CKG looking to scale his way in. He'll be the first one going forward as his teammates close by for the trade. S5J the first to be tested here, it seems, as he's left exposed, but he'll back off in towards bathroom. And as they start re-clearing these angles, they're going to know that it's all coming from the CT side. Roka, here's that smoke go down. Diffuse is starting to be held. CKG with 1 kill, that one's crucial. And now they're tapping that bomb again, but through the smoke, Roka's able to strike him down. Now a new mag in for CKG, but Roka holds on from the air duct. And that is Zomblers with only a 1-round lead remaining.
How did they line up there? They should have just held on to it. How did they line up there? They should have just held on to it. And, you know, he had the position on top of the box. And looking at it, they should have just held the bomb. And again, they tried to call the bluff. They did great with what they had, right? They had a bunch of 5.7s. They had, I think, 1 Deagle. Luke bought up the M4. They did great. They got a bunch of kills. But then they just kind of forgot about how to just play around that bomb, and they could have won that round very easily. They could have.
You said it earlier that pros don't fake. And although the round didn't count for anything, Akimbo stuck that defuse in the previous half. For me, that speaks a little bit to the resolve of these teams right now. Zomblers second-guessing themselves, whereas Akimbo are believing in the project and fully believe in the comeback at this point, as they once again find themselves with an advantage going into a round. It's quickly traded back. Serum, it's active there towards Monster, but he loses a lot of HP. Oreo's close on this smoke. He could be a problem in this round as he tries to spam through, barely off the mark. He's just narrowly missing these shots, and barely Zomblers are holding on to their lives. Oreo's left to try and clean things up. So many low HP players. He'll back off from that HE, only tickled down by it by a little. It's a 2v3 to try and recover this round. They'll scale up through short. These players are so low, it's an easy mop-up for S5J, but now Sunk coming in from the flank. Oreo's anticipates it. Can't quite land that shot. Is Sunk. He jiggles back in. Now the USP out. They'll tap the bomb to try and run away. He goes right into this fight, into the smoke, trying to cut them off, but they get towards CT and will be able to go up towards the A site.
Dang. That's the quarter. That's the third, fourth place match going on.
Yeah, there is another game going on right now. It's that third, fourth place matchup to just see who's getting that third place prize. So if you hear some yelling that feels a little bit out of sync, that's what it is.
We got Sunk saving this AWP with 13 HP, and chasing those players down there on Graffiti was crazy. But he just kind of went for it. He heard him running away. I mean, if he would have actually hit those shots and stopped the bomb from going over there, you might have been able to intercept the round. But I truly thought that Zomblers had the setup, they had everything, and that they I can't even
there
think.
It is.
I can't even think. But it was just, they had the setup there, and I really thought that was going to be a 10th on the board. You know, they were getting kills. Yeah, damage was coming in, but I thought they were going to be able to get the kills there. And Zomblers were going to be able to hold on that round, but S5J was able to get, you know, the clean up the kills there. Basically just, you know, be the trash man and clean everybody up. You know, clean everybody else's messes up.
The coveted Akimbo, you guys are terrible, trash talk. We've heard that a few different times from this team. I believe it's S5J that says that. I believe we confirmed that, but I mean, they're, as we said, both these teams very familiar with each other. They're friends, so expect a lot of banter here. Sunk with the opening kill onto Roka. He took that one a bit personally, it seems, so he makes sure to shut Roka up for S5J's words.
Yeah, just silence him. And, you know, even though Akimbo have managed to get 6 in a row, Zomblers have still yet to put up any sort of solid resistance and put any rounds up on their CT side. The lead is still yet to be in the grasp of Akimbo because it's tied up 9-9 right now. And the rest of Akimbo are lining up outside of B. You got 2 players inside water, one that's just watching the back flanks, and one that's kind of scared inside of Con. And so you've got everybody just kind of grouped up, and it seems like Akimbo just aren't sure where to go. They're just so afraid that Zomblers going to be pushing up.
Molotovs ran in. They try to just go on to this B site. Dante with a double entry. That could be exactly what Akimbo need to get back into this round. Now it's an even man count. Serum rotating down through Con, but I think S5J hears this, and he just tucks deep in. There's no way that this is cleared. It's a freebie onto Serum and Sunk. This is such a hard angle to clear. He'll peek in with the AWP and can't quite connect. S5J gets vocal again, and Sunk just has to take it.
Yeah, and Luke has to run away with this M4. He wants to go for it. I can feel it in the server that he wants to go for it because they put so much work into getting to this point, and they did so much work on this map to get the lead. They had a 6-round lead and is literally gone. At this point, it is now an Akimbo lead, 10-9, 7 rounds in a row on the T side. And again, the CT side is the harder side because you have so much space to have to. You're choking.
Oh my god. S5J is fired up right now, and for good reason. He's been a pivotal member on this comeback so far, it feels like. He's had a lot of standout moments, and Dante has really been hitting some good entries as well. At this point, Akimbo are fully fired up, and they take the lead. First to hit double digits, Ice. Can you believe it?
No. But, I mean, it's just, It's just interesting because right now, this map, I don't care how the economy is set up, this map is very much T-sided. It's just, do you play passive? Do you play aggressive? Do you leave a part of the map open? Do you send somebody to every part of the map? Do you back somebody up? Do you gamble stab something? And that sort of mindset cannot be applied to every single map. And Overpass is one of the and the reason Overpass got taken out of the map pool is because the casual player hated playing it because it was not fun to play. It's not a fun map to play. This is a very technical, thought-provoking kind of map, and you have to play this very strategically. It's not a fun Mirage. It's not a fun Dust 2 where you just go and point and click and shoot. You have to be smart about what you do on this map. And so, again, Akimbo, most of Zomblers rounds were on the T side. Most of Akimbo's rounds were on the T side. Like, it's so hard to play CT on this map.
Zomblers once again forced down to these weaker weaponry. Luke saves that AK from the last round, but is it on as Akimbo are just fully on board right now. Every member stepping up where they need to. Dante goes down, though, and he's been a massive difference maker for this team. Perhaps this 4v4 is Zomblers way back in. Utility will go out to the A site. Luke's here to respond. The one AK on the board here for Zomblers is ready to respond to this hit, but he gets gunned down. Serum now with the MP9 trying his best to hold on, but Lorenz is quick with that trade. CKG working his way in, but there's so many smokes. They cut off these angles. What a shot out of that Deagle, but S5J shuts him back down, and Prime now 1v2 on his plate. He'll throw caution to the wind here. This one was an eco for them, so he just tries to send it in, but he gets shut down as well. All the same, it is Akimbo up to 11.
Kimbo up to 11, but that was a half buy. Hopefully they can buy into this next round, which it does look like they're going to be able to. So we're going to go ahead and get the AWP out for Mr. Sunk over there on the Zombler side. But Akimbo have 7 in a row? 8 in a row? 8 in a row now. Yeah, because they were at 3. So yep, 8 in a row. Not a single CT side being held down by the Zomblers here. And so, you know, this is their map pick. But again, in a best of 5, is it really your map pick? Does it really matter?
I mean, it matters right now because Akimbo are about to walk it over the line as they dash in towards Fountain. It's an easy gun down for a double. Dante over towards Khan. Once again, is just going to be the lurk player trying to hold on to any rotations. That cuts off a lot of options here for Zomblers.
Yeah, Serum's trying to make a play here, trying to get pushed up. CKG as well. I know he heard the door open. It's still wide open, and, I mean,
if Dante confirms any of the information here on the B side, that's massive. Because Akimbo are just letting Zomblers overplay their hand. Oreos is able to take out Serum over towards the A site. They just start booking it over there. And Dante confirms that the last two are in con. Wow. Doesn't even matter. They can't get past the first man to hold the line. And Akimbo touch match point without a single CT side picked up.
Wow. I'm actually in shock and awe right now. Like, looking at that right there, not able to trade back Dante. I know he was in a good position there, holding down Khan, and Serum was trying to make a play, got the dink onto the Khan player, and unfortunately it just did not work out in his favor. And the last round, you know, you've got a couple M4s. It's just really bad buy. But again, Zomblers just cannot win a fight. They can't win any firefights. It's gone from bad to worse. Serum's sitting on 8 frags, and we're on round 22.
3 chances for Akimbo to close. Would you believe it at the half?
No.
And now Zomblers hanging their heads in shame.
Comeback kings. That's what that is. Akimbo almost knocked out of this tournament in the group stages. Almost got relegated down to the LCQ. Qualified in for the playoffs. And now we're showing them potentially able to win map 1 of this best of 5 in the grand finals here at the North American Clutch Series in San Antonio for the Summer Series.
Zomblers with just 4 members to try and hold on. Akimbo only 3 to try and convert this, but honestly, with how hard some of these multi-kills have been hitting, I'm still thinking this one might favor Akimbo. As they start to pivot over towards that A site, Dante's still just this lurk player. He's biding his time, trying to find an opening, and it's a stack towards the B site. Flashbang comes in. They're going to swing off the back of it. Dante can't get anything. They start to confirm that there's nobody else here.
No, don't leave. Don't leave. Luke, stay there. Luke, stay there. No.
Luke leaves.
Okay.
No, okay, he just repositions towards Dumpster. 2v4 on the plate of S5J and Glorins, the captain and the loudmouth of Akimbo, to try and push this one over the edge. Zomblers will post up, trying to get ready for this retake. Bomb starting to be planted. Low on utility now for the post plant. Only a single HE to lean on, but a heads-up fight from Glorins is possibly what they need. Jumping through the smoke of the MP9 Prime, at least able to hold on. Zomblers finally able to find their first CT round.
First CT round of the whole half comes at match point that Akimbo just earned. And you hear the sound of the game tell you that it's going to be match point for the rest of the time until we get to overtime. 2 more chances for Akimbo to get it over the line, and they've got more than enough money to rebuy into this, especially after getting that bomb plan. And you got to look at the players over here on Zomblers. They just look so relieved. They're so locked in. They're so focused, and all they want to do is just take it to the next round. I mean, there's just no expression on their face. That is them just being locked in at this moment.
Can't flinch at moments like this. I talked earlier about the resolve of Akimbo in a lot of those rounds that they were stacking up, and Zomblers have to match that resolve if they want to pull this one off. Now they're the ones on the back foot. Now they're the ones who can't make the mistakes. It has to be flawless just to push us to overtime.
Yeah, and we've got Akimbo, who can pretty much have enough money to buy in for the next round, even if they lose this one. So there's no eco, there's no easy round, there's no easy way back into this. And Zomblers have a huge, they have a tall order, they have a tall ask if they want to do anything. Luke is in a tough spot. He's stuck. He's in trouble. He needed to get at least 1 there.
He just gets run down.
Barely gets any damage out.
5v4 now for Akimbo. They can operate with a little bit more leisure in this round. So they just get ready for these trades. Sunk at least brings one back into the fold here. 4v4 now, but Zomblers so firmly on the back foot. They have to react here.
This is
and
ballsy.
Sunk goes through the smoke. The balls on this man. When you're down like this to make a play like that, Glorins is ready for it. And he's punished for that over-aggression. Could that be how this one comes unraveled as they start throwing utility to this A site? They're just cutting through members, and Zomblers with nothing to be proud of in this CT side. Wow. Abysmal for them as Akimbo mount a massive comeback on map 1.
Yeah, they were happy. You can hear them elated there. We've seen this time and time again with different teams with different scenarios coming back. I think yesterday there was a team that was down 11-1 or 11-3 and managed to come back and win. And we just saw the same thing here, a 9-3 half for Zomblers, and turn around, and this ends up to be 13-11, 13-10.
13-10.
13-10. I mean, if you would have asked me that Akimbo is going to win 13-10 after a 9-3 half from Zomblers, I would have told you that you're lying and you're kidding and get the heck off my mic. You know, but again, you know, they clearly showed us something different here, and unfortunately, the CT side of Zomblers it crumbled. It fell apart. It was like, you know, it was just like an old cookie that you got to grab, and you know, half of it stays on the plate because it literally just fell apart in your hands. It's, you know, it's just one of those situations where, you know, how do you recover from this situation? What do you tell each other in this situation to just recover at this point?
Yeah, I mean, you got to find some way to recover, because now we're going to be heading over to map 2. It is a...
We all play this one a lot, and I'm sure everybody knows how to throw a window smoke from spawn. Everybody knows how to, you know, throw a CT smoke for, you know, for ticket, and, you know, just do what you know how to do, right? And so just go. Just have fun. Just go. Again, just remember, we're all here to have fun. Yeah, we're bantering, but, you know, why are we playing the game for not having fun? But ultimately, we're going to have Akimbo on the CT side and Zomblers on the T side. Everybody from Zomblers is going to hit this B site. Typical B rush, execute on pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, not just for fun and banter, it's also for over $3,000 to first place. So there is still quite a bit on the line for these teams. And Zomblers are going to try and start off this Mirage right. But Dante quickly back into the apps with that backstab, brings us to a 3v3. Taken down by Sunk at the very least. That two-pronged attack is now out, and it's all left up to Oreos and Roka coming in from market right now. Those dualies close, provide problems. Sunk locks it in. Zomblers with a pistol.
Zomblers back with the lead again, but let's see if they can go ahead and build upon that lead. But we did see last map that doesn't matter what the scoreline was, Akimbo are not a team to be questioned and forgotten about, because they had a 6-round lead and still managed to come back and win in regulation.
That's the crazy part. Regulation. They didn't even need overtime. So, I mean, we'll have to have just reserved thoughts about any lead that Zomblers holds, no matter how drastic it seems, because they could have gotten 10 rounds in their first half, and it might not have even mattered.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, it didn't matter if it was 9-3, 10-3, 11-3. I still feel like at that point they didn't have any real like strats on their CT side, or their defaults were just very weak, and so it wouldn't have mattered what they had. Akimbo were just, I feel like, destined to come back. But here on the CT side, here on the CT side for Akimbo, they are head and hands. Absolutely pissed off. They had the better weaponry. You could see the face. You can see the faces there. That I don't know if that's Sunk or Prime, but he is pissed off. He's like, how the heck did I just lose that fight? And S5J with the 5-7 there, still getting kills and gets the last two with the 5-7. What on earth? 4 people left alive for Akimbo. This absolutely just shredded the offense, and they went straight to B again, thinking, hey, they're not going to hit B again, and they did, and they call a quick instant timeout. I mean, that timeout came out faster than a horse coming out of the gates in the Kentucky Derby.
Absolutely insane. I mean, Zomblers, they're obviously rattled by that. Now 1-1, their economy is completely shattered, and they call a timeout to try and get their head screwed back on here. Like you said, head in hands. When that round wasn't even done yet, they knew that they were cooked. So Akimbo, they're able to upset that early momentum and a chance to snowball that even further.
Yeah, I mean, Akimbo are looking to build upon that because, I mean, without a bomb plant, you got $1,400. So there's absolutely just nothing you can do to buy into this. And S5J is looking to put his name and spout some more banter towards his friends or frenemies, his frenemies over there on the other side of the tables. And, I mean, again, fourth fight coming in. Nice dink on S5J, I think, and he goes down quickly.
Yeah, he eventually gets run down. Now it's all left up to Glorians, but it's just too much for him to handle.
Same thing happening back.
Yeah, Pistol is able to ring true here for Zomblers, and they make things stressful here for Akimbo. A Molotov in, that actually cuts off Dante. His own teammate may be providing some problems. That smoke is shallow on window, and there's a break on it, so Dante away back into this round now. They start to peel these members off, and a flank coming in from Apps could be a massive problem.
Nice
Double stack
shot.
over towards bench. A 1 dig out of Prime to try and give him a way back in. Roka, quick response with that Galil. He gets a double, putting that 35-round mag to work. Serum now has to try and close with a Galil of his own. Misspray on the first, but he hits the second, and now he just has to hold on. Is there enough time for this defuse?
I don't know.
It's going to come down close, down to the wire, and he just doesn't have it. Zomblers do it right back to Akimbo.
0.1 seconds left. They got the bomb played off. That's all that matters. Zomblers getting themselves a second round. I was holding my breath. I wasn't entirely sure if that was going to be caught. I could literally see the timer on the bomb. I could see the timer on the defuser. I really wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get that, but absolutely just amazing timing coming out from Dante to be able to get that over the line. Oh my God. But they're not hooting and hollering. They're not smiling. That was not a round that it couldn't have come any closer, but they can't feel good about that round. They're just happy they got, you know, the point on the board. That's all that matters. But instant timeout being called again. I don't know if that was Akimbo or if that was Zomblers, but a timeout being called. Whew. I mean, I felt everything right there, man. That was whew. That was fun.
Absolutely wild. And I believe that was an Akimbo timeout because I saw them talking quite a bit from that timeout, seeming to try and correct the course of that one because now they're onto the back foot. Zomblers returning the favor. Still a better buy here for Akimbo than you might expect. There's 3 M4s in the mix, and we saw exactly what MP9s and 5.7s can do in round 2.
It's stupid. It's just stupid.
It's so insane, the output of those 2 guns. And if you've got 3 M4s to back it, that's a lot of firepower in a round. MP9 tries to strip away and rifle early on, but it just can't quite connect, and his pistol's not able to make it. The difference,
what?
5-7, a triple kill into the feed. Oreo's massive, brings us to a 2v2. Dante through the smoke, just drops in, and Akimbo refused to relent.
You gotta be kidding me. How does Oreos get 3 kills from Sandwich? How does he able to get 3 kills there, not get traded out? I don't think that Zomblers were expecting there to be that many people on the A side. Once they got the under player, once they got the up close player on ramp, I don't think they're expecting to be a 3rd player there. But Dante playing the Superman role, jumping down down from stairs, getting the last 2 kills, absolutely just tearing apart the offense there, Zomblers. They've gone B, they've been shut down. They've gone A, they've been shut down. What do Zomblers do now?
Force down on the pistols as well, but that has hardly made a difference in this map so far. Both these teams just absolutely throwing hands here on Mirage. That Deagle tries to ring out for one. Sunk can't quite connect. Zomblers.
The what?
Just do it right back. Opening
just
kill
by
for the
Deagles.
Still
Just by
more work,
Deagles.
just more work to be done though. And that MP9 able to rattle one off inside of mid. And now Zomblers start to regroup. They feel a little bit scared with that interaction in mid. Now they start to reposition, go back towards B, but there's one player in catwalk, one player tucked deep on the site. They could be walking into a trap here, especially if Akimbo get a little bit proactive on these mid angles. They can start to eliminate options here for Zomblers.
You've got Sunk on 6 HP,
Jump
so
spot for Mario. He spots him. I think he just saw him.
he's going to be the front line. He's going to be the front man. He's going to be the person that's just going to take all the
throws
damage.
smoke. He's just trying to stall at the time. Zomblers need to scale quickly here. If they stall out, if they give time for the rotate, then that's absolutely catastrophic. Glorins, before they're even able to make it out of the apartment, absolutely denies access to the site. The B anchors hold it down, and Akimbo take the lead.
Well, Zomblers were so focused on that cat player that they just stayed inside of apps. Had they just gone out, they knew that a player was there, but that couldn't have been where the smoke came from, which means that they knew that 2 players were there. They were so focused on killing that cat player that they just basically funneled up and they body blocked each other. They couldn't get out of apps. Had they just funneled outside of apps, they could have overwhelmed those 2 players that were on the site, and then they could have planted the bomb and taken it out, but they were just too focused. They're tunnel vision. They're not thinking right now.
Akimbo are the ones to win out the Force by War. They emerge with not only a lead, but Zomblers' economy broken. They choose to take the eco here, looking towards the rest of the match instead. So this one should be nice and simple for Akimbo as they mow down players inside of Con here. It's a massacre at the steps.
Every single player is dead inside of Con. Just go ahead and chisel out a tombstone. Don't even put names on it. Just put Zomblers right there inside of Con, because that's where every single body was lying. Just bury them in the ground. That is a 4-2 scoreline for Akimbo, 2-round lead for them. And I don't know what the answer is for Zomblers right now. I'm not even saying that they need to hit hard or harder, because right now they're just missing shots, and the executes just are not clean right now for Zomblers. It's not characteristic of them.
A lot of utility thrown out towards mid here. 2 Molotovs invested in the CTs. They're going to try and burst through that smoke, but Sunk and Serum deny access to that top mid position, and that's a massive man advantage for Zomblers to claw away with. Now more smoke's going up. They're going to try and cut off these angles. Window is off limits, but S5J comes in from Catwalk to try and provide some resistance. He doesn't long for this world, and Zomblers rise right back up in mid where they were buried, and look to try and convert this round, keeping that gap close.
This is the best chance they have to come in this round. Now they know where the last player's at. They know Warriors is right here, and he goes down without a kill himself. So there's another successful round coming up from Zomblers. But it was off of the back of Akimbo trying to get aggressive in mid, and Zomblers were just kind of a little ready for it. They were able to put some of the shots there a little bit. I want to say somebody was blind. I think Sunk was blind, but they were able to get both of the players and essentially gave them the frags, gave them the kills to give them the advantage, and then Zomblers just pounce on top of it. You give them an inch and they're going to take a mile.
1-round game now, everybody buying up rifles. The only SMG in play is on S5J. He'll rock out with that MP9 as they start to pivot towards this B site. He could have a lot on his plate, just jump spotting, trying to play it safe. And on top of that, Lawrence has secured the man advantage. He'll spot one out, same as before. He'll throw that smoke down at his feet. This time they're faster to scale out of apps, though. S5J has to try and hold on with the SMG, and a double found. Now an upgrade available as he swaps out to that AK. He has a much better weapon to try and hold on here, and his team has rotated in. Akimbo not letting Zomblers tie this game up. It has to be a 1v4 attempt here from Luke 4K. He would need a 4K to pull this one back.
Yeah, if there's anybody I'm going to rely on at this moment, it's going to be Luke. But right now, I haven't seen much out of him. He seems to have cooled off here, but like you said, he's going to need a 4K if he wants to be able to pull this off. But right now, Zomblers are very readable. I think that's the problem they have right now, is that every time they go to execute, it's very simple. It's just, hey, they're coming out of apps. We can go ahead and just, we have a plan for that. They're coming out of B, or they're coming out of A. We have a plan for that. If they go mid, we're just going to go ahead and crunch on him and shut him down. And, you've got Roka here who's literally going to let him come out of Palace for the most part. He's going to spot him. He's going to let him plant the bow. I think he might have spotted him.
Yeah, Roka just puttering off shots, but he still loses that. Luke 4K now away back into this one, but he's backing off right now, and he doesn't have time for this. He doesn't even have the bomb.
No, he doesn't have the
It's
bomb.
stranded over towards B site. He's got no way to pull off this clutch. He's just going to save.
Yeah, and he's got 19 HP. The bomb's on the other side of the map. I think he was just trying to go and, I don't know, maybe just find a kill or two, trying to add to, the hurt of the economy, make a little bit extra money, like $300. But, there we go. I was waiting for the S5J reaction there. We finally got it on cam. That was fantastic. He's laughing. He's smiling. They're having a blast of a time. But over here at the North American Clutch Series, where Zomblers are not having a blast right now. And so, it's just right now, Zomblers are very readable. It's very simple. They're not doing anything. They're not sending two players in one direction. They're not splitting a site. They're not, throwing some fakes up or anything. Their lurkers aren't getting any impact. Again, the only word I can come up with right now is just they're very readable. They're very, they can just set up exactly the way they need to. And then the anchor players are doing their job. They are surviving. They're preventing the Zomblers from coming out from any direction. And it just, it doesn't feel like it's only a 2-round game. It doesn't feel like it's a 5-3 game.
Zomblers need to start making some adjustments right now. Akimbo are running away with it. They seem to still be stuck on Overpass, it feels like. It seems like we've got a Zomblers coming out the gate swinging on Mirage, but Akimbo are finally able to break away. S5J flashed away from the angle, but he's able to regain vision. Now running dry on that mag, pull out the pistol, and it's enough to hold on. And Oreo is now able to support. Luke 4K left in another clutch where he's just trying to scale out of apps, but there's too many players here. He can't get that one going, and S5J is getting loud.
How was he able to survive that whole time? He was stuck in van. I swear he had a Molotov at his feet. He had nades being thrown at him. He got a second Molotov being thrown at him. He was burning alive, gets a couple kills, even gets one with the USP. I don't know how he managed to survive that whole thing and still, get Akimbo another round. But it's just, again, another very simple exit coming out, and it was very readable. It was very just predictable. That's the other word I'm looking for. It's predictable.
Now forced back down onto pistols. Only got Luke 4K on a hero rifle. Serum able to find one with that deagle, but it's quickly traded back. Oreos is going to toss that up to a safe location. Going to get ready for any more aggresses here from Zomblers, but last two remaining are far removed from the combat. 4K is now trying to make his way over towards ramp with that hero AK, but at this point, can it really find enough impact? He's got so much heavy lifting to do. Prime doesn't even have armor, just a deagle to his name. And Luke 4K tagged down by an HE. Prime will work his way in. He's trying to be quiet about this. Has he found a gap? As Oreo drops down towards balcony, he'll have line of sight, and he'll be able to clean that one up. Akimbo already up to 7. But let's not forget what happened on Overpass. We can never count these teams out.
I mean, you're right. We can't count these teams out, but again, it's. I'm hoping that Zomblers CT side is going to do the same thing. They're finally going to get the guns back in. That was what we were missing from the last round, but the Zomblers did exactly what I wanted them to do. They all wanted them to be sort of unpredictable and send some players in sort of a default kind of location. Send like 2 or 3 mid. Send 1 or 2. Oh my God! I can't even talk anymore because stuff's happening.
Has to be tilted off the face of the earth after that one.
He got tracked through the smoke there, jumping through mid after it bloomed, and he's just trying to get some position there.
And another one. I mean, granted, break on the smoke for that one, but it's just so quick by Oreos, and this was the buy for Zomblers. This is them bringing everything they could into the round, and Akimbo treated it like it's nothing.
No, and again, they were just trying to get some space. They were trying to get some aggression going. They were trying to just get some mid control, and it's all left up to Luke 2K here. and I don't think they know where he's at, but I think Dante's just holding for this just in case he's here. And he's about to get a bullet into his head there. And, I mean, he did get a dink, but 7 HP is still 7 HP, still left alive. And, I mean, I don't know what else is going to happen in this position here. We might have another 9-3 half, but you know what? We might have the opposite effect. We might have Zomblers coming back saying, hey, they're a CT-sided team on Mirage, and Zomblers are going to get shut down as well. But, again, you know, we're potentially looking at a 9-3 half. 8-4 would be fantastic, but, again, with literally 1 AK, I don't foresee that happening. And I haven't seen enough executes out of Zomblers to be able to say that. And I've seen plenty of games where they have been absolutely just on fire. They've been dominant. They've been able to go wherever they want on the map. But look, all 5 players are mid. They're so predictable. Eventually, when they're going to see one, at this point, if you see one, then assume there's 5 there.
There hasn't been a lot of layers to this attack from Zomblers. Feeling like their map pool is a little bit small here in this best of 5 early on. Overpass, not a lot to work with on the CT side, and now on Mirage, the T side seems to struggle as well. Serum with that hero AK, trying to work his way in, only one with a proper rifle here, but Oreo shuts him down. They're going to try and juggle that one around. As the Galils barrel in towards the site, they're going to try and recover that AK, get that bomb down, but now from ramp, Dante tries to come in. Missed shots, is that their way into this round? Glorin's over from Catwalk, able to take one down as well. Dante shifts in the night through that smoke, and Prime will make sure to punish him for it. Finally, Zomblers coming alive right now. They somehow are able to scrape by with a 4th round on the half.
They got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rounds in their T side of Mirage. And honestly, at this point, with what I saw and the way the gameplay was, I would almost say that that was a W for the Zomblers, because that's not the Zomblers that I'm used to seeing. But again, this is a full game. You have to play on both sides. You can have a 12-0 half, but you still got to switch sides and win on the opposite side. So if you're on offense, now you got to play defense. And let's see, you know what? Zomblers win this pistol round. They buy up some in-4s. They cut this 4-round lead in half and cut it to 2. And then we've got an 8-4 scoreline. So let's see what Akimbo have for us. They're going to take some of this mid-aggression. Sung's going to get a lot of space over here on under, and just realize that they're not inside B, and that should give them all the information they need. If they can get somebody up inside of apps, that's going to be great. That's going to be great news.
Shoes on the other foot now for Akimbo. Can they close, or will they have the same issues that Zomblers had over in map 1? They start to try and book it over towards the B site. They lose one to bench, but it's quickly traded back. With that bomb going down in a 4v4, Sunk feels like he has to find some form of impact, but now he's spotted out. It's so hard for him to scale out of this, but a clean shot onto the default player. S5J trying to hold on inside of market, but there's 3 players making their way towards him. He has to try and hold that line, and he's not able to get anything. It's a clean pistol out of Zomblers to try and kick off a comeback of their own.
That's the Zomblers that I was looking for. Getting aggressive, playing together, doing the retake at the same time, getting Sunk activated, and that's the Zomblers that I've come to see. That's the Zomblers I've come to respect. I'm not saying that Akimbo did anything wrong there, but they got faster, they got aggressive, they started playing together, they were hitting their shots, they were playing off each other, and you could see everything coming out of market. Sunk giving all the information. There's one on default, there's one on van, and they knew exactly where to point themselves every single time. Rogue is going to get an AK. Okay.
I was going to say, here's the issue for Zomblers. You're not out of the woods yet. There was a bomb plant. There's a little bit of luxury here to Akimbo, and they can start to buy up some of these weapons.
It's a half buy with an AK?
Yeah, it's a half buy. Rogue is probably, if they don't get a bomb plant, is going to have to just sort of make concessions in the next round. But if he can pack a punch with this AK, he can single-handedly open up the round, and they can snowball it. A lot of M4s in play here for Zomblers. If they get 1 kill, all of a sudden they can pick up that M4. Things can start to get out of hand rather quickly. We've got some typing going on in the chat right now. I think we might be having a bit of a round reset as we see everybody tuck into corners right now. And there it is. Disconnect. We will have to reset this round.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, again, I'm glad that at least this one seems a little bit more obvious than it did on Overpass. But again, you know, whatever the issue is, whatever's going on, again, admins are going to figure it out and handle it. And again, I'm not going to try to figure it out.
That's so weird.
All right, Luke. All right, Luke.
He's taking whatever he can get. He's had a rough series, and this is a name that we really expected to stand out throughout this entire tournament, but especially here in the Grand Finals. He's one of the players who's a little more used to pressure here, honestly. It's a lot of people's first LAN. I don't think it's either of these teams' first LAN. I believe they're both at least somewhat experienced in this, but Luke, he's been around for a good bit. People know about him. His skill is noted.
I mean, Roka's pretty famous too.
Yeah, that's true. Roka, you know, other side of the coin.
So again, you know, we have players that have LAN experience. We have players that have been doing a lot of competitions that are in, you know, advanced. I want to say it's not this roster, but at one point Akimbo has been all the way up even into Challenger. I've seen them at, you know, big, like, I wouldn't say big tournaments. They have been reasonably high ranked, and so we've got a lot of players here that are newish. This Zomblers roster is still kind of a throw together, kind of a put together team. I want to say Luke got brought onto the team like literally like a week or two ago. He didn't even know he was going to be here until like a week or two ago, and so you know they're all here doing everything that they can to you know obviously win this tournament. But it's not just about winning the tournament. It's not just about the money. It's about, you know, the LAN, the vibes, you know, coming on together. And as we see the players here, you know, they're trying to get everything fixed up here. They can't talk to each other. They can't say anything. You can clearly see that they're not doing anything. They're just kind of looking at each other, but they're just facing forward. They're not doing anything. And that's exactly what happens in a tech. You can't do anything. And we're trying to, you know, keep this as, you know, keep the integrity of the game as posted as possible. But you can't deny, you know, a lot of these players are sitting here just enjoying the experience, being on LAN. You know, the whole what's the word I'm looking for? The stereotype of, you know, being in, you know, your basement and just, you know, being a basement goblin kind of thing. We get to get out. We get to, you know, put on jerseys and we get to hang out and actually feel like a team. You know, there's not enough lands for us to go to. We're not tier 1. We're not a G2 or Vitality where we get to travel the world, right? So when you get to put that jersey on, you know, it feels good. You feel like you're a part of something, just like the production team. Everybody's wearing, you know, not me, but, you know, everybody on the production team is wearing a jersey. You know, per se, and just we all feel like a team. We all feel united, and so whether it's win or lose, yeah, it's great. You know, we're all here for the tournament, the competition, but ultimately, like, it's great that we can be here because, you know, I've always wanted to meet the people that I play online with. Like everybody in my Strafe Discord, you know, I'm going to call them out here. You know, I would love to meet Antibot. We were going to potentially try to meet up in Frag 19 and go to Canada. I just couldn't make it happen. But he was going to, if I was going to go, he was going to go. You know, and then, you know, I met up with Luke over in Vegas the first time because we were going to room together at the Austin Major. You know, and just everybody that I get a chance to meet, you know, we interact with them so much online. We hear their voice. We even see them on cam, right? But when I get a fist bump or I get to, you know, high five you, it's different, man.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Nothing feels more different on LAN than those fist bumps. There's just something about it and something about the energy of that, you know, when your team screams nice and you can hear it in Discord and then hear it through your headset at the same time. There's just something about the energy of the LANs, and it brings the best out of these players. That's what we want to see. We want to see their best. Roka, though, that hero, AK, immediately out of the round, and it looks like Akimbo are going to fall flat-footed on this sort of half investment.
Okay. All right.
Wallace out of Zomblers.
I'm here for it.
Okay, well, that was a messy M4 spray.
Was,
you know what, S5J, why not clutch? 13 HP, that's enough.
You got a dink. You got a dink. What? I couldn't hear you.
All right.
Even when they lose, we still got S5J, you know, just shouting out, I love it.
I think he said you lost to Glocks.
Oh, yeah. Okay, see, okay, that's still funny.
That's I mean, that's an old NA meme.
I'm going to be honest.
Was
when I win a Glock,
who was it that said that? I don't think it was Steel. It wasn't Steel.
I don't know, but I got to say, when I win a Glock fight, there's no better feeling, dude. I don't care about knives or no scopes. When I win a Glock fight against anything that's not a Glock, dude, I feel so good. It's great. Because it takes like 3 dinks just to kill somebody with a Glock. It's kind of annoying, actually.
Known as the water gun by some players, to the point it got a skin for that.
A water elemental?
Yeah, the water elemental.
I mean, I can.
Well, Hypno's just threw up the dualies, so I guess he's calling those the water gun. Well, yeah, they have like an actual water gun skill, but there's skin. But I know that the Glock has one that it's like a water type thing. He's just
Look,
shaking his
there's
head.
a reason why you're pushing
He refuses to
buttons.
relent this point because it's not an actual water gun.
We're going to get this.
The point is that it's shooting water out the barrel. That's the point, Hippo.
We're going to get this B execute coming out from Akimbo. Luke is going to open up here with a frag of his own, getting himself a double kill, but quickly taken down by Glorens. 3v3 now for Akimbo without a bomb plant. They're still stuck in apps. There's this rotate coming in from Dante. This lurk is going to go unnoticed. Unfortunately, CKG is not going to be able to catch this. And Dante's just going to sit there inside murder hole. They're going to go under and go back to A. Dante's going to hold the rotate. It should get shut down by CKG. Should. Keyword.
I mean, yeah, he's all the way back towards ticket, but they should be accounting for that at least somewhat. They know that market isn't a problem, so you direct your eyes
Nice shot.
over towards ticket booth.
There we go.
But nonetheless, CKG's able to catch him on a timing, and Dante, his
All
lurk
by
inside of
himself.
his lurk inside of window just doesn't really pay dividends here. So he gets one with that Tech 9. There's still so much more to do, and now you're caught between a crossfire.
There we go.
Zero will put you in the grave. Zomblers 1 round away from tying us up.
Yeah, Zomblers are coming back from the grave. Some zombies that are coming alive here, finally seeing some life out of them. We saw them, be very aggressive on Overpass and basically just fade off like a phantom. And now they're back haunting. Akimbo and saying, hey, you did it to us, we can do it to you. And now look at the scoreline. We've got an 8-7 scoreline here. And, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Zomblers come back and win this one.
Dante in aggressive with that Tech 9. Break on the smoke for Sunk. This means that he's able to pick up one with the AWP, and he's just continuing to rattle off shots here. They're going into the blender right now of Khan. And Zomblers return the favor that Akimbo delivered rounds ago.
I mean, honestly, like I said, it was, the scrappy rounds that Zomblers won on their T side, they got enough. And if you would have told me that they would have just come back and tied it up 4 straight on their CT side, I would have said you're crazy, because I feel like you have to be harder hitting on the CT side. You got to be reacting to the Ts. And now we have a tied scoreline here, and yeah, AKs are coming back out for Akimbo. Sunk's got his, signature AWP here, and I don't know. I just Akimbo's, T side is leaving a lot to be desired at this moment.
Oreos trying to peek in towards Palace here. The op was posted on the angle, but it misses. Both of them emerge. Still alive, but that lurk through the smoke catches CKG unaware. Now Sunk into the feed with the AWP, but eventually spammed through that triple box. They're able to scale onto the A site off the back of that Prime, trying to get ahead of these smokes. He does so successfully in towards jungle, and that Molotov can't flush him out either. He's got free reign over this position, but now another Molotov comes in, forces him in that fight, and he just goes into the blender. It's a Luke 1v3 on the plate.
Go nuclear Luke. But he's got 3 players to find at full health. A Dink is going to do absolutely nothing.
Hit and smoke in play right now.
Nah.
And he just takes away one. Oreos, does he consider this one? Is he backing off for the save? All right. Yeah, he's just going to save that AK. He's backing off to the CT spawn. He'll bide his time and wait.
Ninja.
That's what I was thinking for a second, but he's within earshot, and it's just too far away now. So he'll just hold on to this AK, but Akimbo refused to let Zomblers touch the lead.
Yeah, they get all so close, but ultimately it boils down to nothing. Luke actually gets another one. That's another $50. That's another $350 for him. $50 extra for his team there. So it wasn't all for naught, and it's forcing, I think, Dante to reinvest back in. And even though they did get the lead, yeah, they got the lead, but again, it's Zomblers are not rolling over just yet. I mean, we could very easily see a 1-1 scoreline here, but Akimbo are going to try to make it 2-0 and force Zomblers to have to do a reverse sweep if they even remotely want to come close to winning this tournament. Half buy, I mean, basically a nothing buy coming in from Zomblers. Luke's hero AK, quote-unquote, if you want to call it that. I mean, Sunk's just basically going to save enough money to buy the AWP. And even if they lose this round, they're only behind by 2. They should feel kind of comfortable right now. There should be no reason to panic, because you can easily come back from 2 rounds.
Is this the round that Luke comes alive? He's got a hero AK, all the pressure on his shoulders, just a couple of upgraded pistols, a P250 and a Deagle.
I mean, outside of Prime, which I've seen him hit some nice shots, literally, if you look at the kill if you look at the kill spread between every single player across the server, everybody, the lowest I'm looking at is 10 on Roka, and the highest is 15 on Oreos, and everybody's sprinkled in the middle. Like, nobody's outshining, nobody's undershining, nobody's stepping up to the plate to be the hero, and no one's really falling behind. Like I said, outside of Prime, it's fine. But again, you know, an 8 to 9 scoreline is exactly the way you look at it when you look at the kill spread. And it's just somebody needs to show up, and nobody's on the B side. What's going on here?
I mean, Luke tried to play this one passive just so that he has the option to rotate out if they fully committed to this B site and he can't find a way back in. He gets one kill. Does that entice Zomblers is the question.
I mean, they're...
Oh, no, another disconnect.
Yeah, but
Oreos
you can't
just
reset
struggling to stay.
They're going to go for this.
Yeah, now they're going to go for this. They know that they're now weak on man count. It's a 5v3. They start to reposition. Sunk, boosted up on top of mid right now. It is cleared, so he can't quite convert that kill. Dante will just back off with the knowledge. They look to just dig their heels into the site right now. Roka with a kill up inside of Abs, converts it into a double. Lawrence is also into the feed, but taken down inside of Abs. It's all left up to Dante. CKG trying to scale out through Abs. He manages to get out, but Dante holds on nonetheless. Woo! Even with a massive man advantage, the guns are just too much to overcome.
Yeah, but I'm really curious because Oreo's standing up right now, and I'm really curious to find out like what's happening. Is it a Steam thing? Is it a computer thing? Like I can't believe it's but I can't believe that it's a computer thing because it's got to be a Steam thing. It has to be because like honestly, all the computers have been fine.
I mean, you never know. Sometimes things just happen. Either the PC's falling behind, maybe you never know with these things. So it could be hardware, it could be just Steam.
Could be a PC thing.
Yeah, we were just talking to our producer, and he says it very well could be a PC issue. Hopefully it doesn't persist for much longer, or we're at least able to maybe get things swapped around in some way. It's at this point becoming a bit of a problem because it's been multiple disconnects here for Oreos.
Yeah, when something happens once, it's random. When it happens twice, it's coincidence. But when it happens 3 times, it's a pattern. So it's like after the 3rd time, it's like maybe we look into it. I don't know.
Could be in for a bit of a longer tech pause here. Just depends on what the decision ends up being. But, I mean, at this point, like we said, if it's a hardware issue, we've got plenty of PCs laying around trying to get him set up on a new one just as fast as you can. But it's just, you know, can sometimes take a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just a lot of wires.
A lot of wires.
Yeah.
You know,
one of my favorite like reoccurring jokes from like something like the ESL and Blast and PGL broadcasts is the whole they'll do the like pit crew themed monitor change and like time the monitor change. It's really funny. It's a pretty funny like reoccurring meme in my opinion. I enjoy it quite a bit.
Oh, I can't do that. I want to turn this and show them so they can wave at the camera.
Oh. Production Hypnos looks.
I want to put
with
production on camera.
eyes.
I want to put production on camera.
Hey, all I'm saying is I know at some point chat was asking to see Hypnos, so.
At some point.
At some point.
We'll show you guys later.
Chat, as far as I'm aware, is very pro-nose.
I'm pro.
We need more love for respect. Exactly.
I'm pro-spec.
Pro-spect. All right, well, we're back to live right now. Akimbo, seemingly to just try and get in with another buy here. Zomblers have to try and hold on. Now they've got the rifles back out. And Sunk on that AWP as well.
Man, I really thought they were going to get that retake.
It was close, man.
Had they been closer, it would have been a different issue. I think they were taking so long to rotate around because they got the kill, but it's like, hey, we weren't going to go for it. But 2 players were inside spawn, or like inside T-spawn, and they're like, oh, he disconnected, let's go for it. It takes another 10, 15 seconds to get there. It was just chaos.
I mean, it's not that I'm shifting the blame onto him, but rather just a unfortunate circumstance that they found themselves in. Luke needed to have a little bit more impact on that, and there just wasn't enough time to set him up for success.
Exactly.
So that one rifle wasn't really able to get into the B much. 4v4 here, even keel in round 19 as Zomblers are just trying to hold on. Akimbo closing this one out and a clean shot over towards Ticket Booth. At least the trade is swift here from Sunk. Trying to work things from the AWP. He'll break open that smoke, but Akimbo bide their time and wait. Finally getting that bomb down. I believe he tags one through that triple box. Lauren's now having to operate at half HP. They know that two players seemingly are over towards this ticket booth position, and that means that that's all they have to focus on. They'll stack up for it. Dante, first contact, he shuts it down and sunk now the last one remaining, trying his best to bring his team back into the fold, but it's just not enough. Akimbo refused to let Zomblers return a comeback.
So I want to throw an interesting stat out there right now. You know, when you look at Akimbo, they're up 11 to 8 right now. And they've only won 7 of the opening frags, 7 of 19 opening frags. Right now we're looking at 5, 6, 7, 11. The rest of them, 11 of the 19 rounds we've had have been opening frags by the Zomblers, and yet they're still down 3-0. And so Akimbo are doing their best work when they're actually a man down.
And again, it just sort of speaks to what I mentioned in the map 1, that resolve and resilience of this team is not to be underestimated. Now finally, another opening kill here for Akimbo. Glorens will shut down that aggression over towards Palace. S5J, a pick of his own, 3v5 here for Zomblers. All they've got is a measly MP9 and a 5.7 to hold on, because surely that USP can't find impact.
No, I mean, again, this is really not much of a buy here. But again, last round when it was 8-10, you know, the opening frag came from Sunk with the AWP. He's going to try to get it out next round, you know, with this loss bonus here. But again, there's not much that they can do. This 5.7 is not close enough to win too much. He's going to get okay. He's going to get 1, maybe.
No
2.
way.
Let's go, Prime. Come on.
Again,
Come
that
on, Prime.
5.7.
Oh, the Ninja. Oh, you got to clear Ninja.
USP can't quite connect there. Luke thrust it into another clutch, this time with only a MP9. 69 ADR, though. Nice. But he can't get into this one, and frustration is setting in for Zomblers right now. They'll upgrade to an AK, but I feel like he just backs off. Zomblers playing for overtime, and you can't even get away with the rifle. You've got to reinvest everything into this next one.
Yeah. And I mean, you're looking at the team here. I mean, again, you need somebody to shine. Sunk's going to be able to get the AWP out, so that's what he was going for. But it's going to require 4 rounds from Zomblers to be able to pull this off if they want to be able to even remotely get into overtime right now. And it's just I haven't seen enough for them to come out of it, but they have had some rounds where they've had some success. They have some players who are getting the kills and getting the frags. It's just, again, they've had majority of the opening rounds, but opening kill's going to go this way of Akimbo. Well, they traded back by Serum, but that's about it. He needed 2 there.
They're just trying to barrel in through Khan right now, and it results in man advantage for them. CKG caught out in the site as well. Such an awkward angle for him to manage now. Prime trying to get into the fray. He's holding on. Kill of his own. Goes back through Murder Hole, and they're going to try and piece together this 2v4 made 2v3. Can they pull off some heroics to stay alive in Mirage, or will we really have Akimbo with a 2-map lead in the grand finals?
Well, there is a kid on the back of Prime, but the problem is he has 7 HP, and Luke is coming in from mid. They have to go for this, obviously, because it's the last round, or if not, you're literally throwing. But the problem is you got to get Prime close enough with this kid. You got to get him killed, and he's going to go down. So now the kid is lost inside his ticket, and Luke is only good for 1, and that is it. So that is Akimbo going up in this series 2-0 in this best of 5. And this particular map was a little bit underwhelming compared to that of Overpass. And I'm not even saying it was underwhelming. It was just like, you know, Zombler started off so strong in Overpass, and then they just kind of let it go. Now they've got about a 5-minute break where they get to discuss everything. And, you know, and on this particular map, they started to come back. They actually managed to tie the game up there 8-8, and then it just kind of fell apart from there and ended 13-8. After that comeback, it was just 5 in a row from Akimbo, and they just look really good. They look really comfortable, and at this point, I'm not really entirely sure what the strat is.
Absolutely brutal situation right now for Zomblers. They have to pull off a reverse sweep, or else this could be a very one-sided grand final. Now, like you said, we're going to have a about 5-minute break here for map 3 to give some time to rest and try and recuperate, maybe post something in this grand final for Zomblers. We're going to throw to a quick break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for map 3.
Amen.
There's no follow-through, and it feels like they keep maybe getting a little bit close. They start piecing things together, and then all of a sudden, Akimbo just completely shut them down, and it takes them way too long to readjust, and I think that's the issue. It's not necessarily that they can't come up with solutions, it's that it's not quick enough.
Right. And you know, I was kind of, you know, just fist bumping some of the players, both Akimbo and the Zomblers when they were taking their little break, and I was just telling them, you know what, if nothing else, just, you know, good job, GG to everybody, have some fun. And as the Zombler players are coming back in, I could hear all of them telling each other before I had a chance to just like fist bump them. They're like, you know what, just go out there, have fun, frag out, just, you know, just go frag out, just go have fun, just like, you know what, get into the server and just go do what you're, you know, what conditioned to doing. Like all these guys, you don't get to this level by just playing an hour or two a day, a couple times a week, right? These guys grind all the time, and so at this point, it's like, you know what, go out there and do what you've conditioned to do. Go out there and just do what you're supposed to do. Just have fun.
I mean, okay, so I like that mindset of go back to the basics, trust in our gun skill, and just try and frag out and shine as individuals because we know that they're capable of doing that. The biggest issue I have with that right now is they are not going to the map to do that. We're going to Nuke, a very tactically depth map, and a map where it relies a lot on your team play rather than individual hero moments, it feels like.
Right.
You're going to have quick rotations, sharp communication, and be able to establish crossfires because you have some choke points where the T's struggle to break through, but if they're able to just flood out and kill one individual player, they have the site or they have a massive point of control on the map.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that the one piece of advice I would give to the Zomblers right now is that just make sure you're always throwing the outside smokes. Make sure you're always throwing yard smokes out there, and make sure that you're creating that space. It doesn't, you know, don't always throw the red one. Throw maybe a diagonal one. Just make sure you have enough executes to keep them guessing. And if I was on Akimbo's side, I would just say just keep doing what you're doing, keep firing off what you're doing, and just keep the Zomblers guessing. Because again, you give the Zomblers any sort of chance to win, they're going to come back in, and we could potentially have ourselves a 5-map series.
Well, your back's up against the wall here, Zomblers. Let's see if going back to basics is what you need, or if instead Akimbo will give us a nice and short grand final. We've got some dualies in the mix right now here for Akimbo. I think that's 3 on the board. This could be a problem as they scale up towards ramp. That's where 2 of the dualies are set and waiting. S5J can be the first contact. He rips the head off of Serum. Now the rest try to scale out. They're going into a blender right now. Those dualies trying to rip through. And it's the USP actually to pick up the multi here as they close in on that ramp hit. Roka just biding his time waiting, trying to get something going, but he gets shut down and sunk in a 1v2 where he's got some space.
He's got a very low Oreos, and he knows that he's the one who dinked Oreos. Doesn't know where Gloria's Lawrence is coming up to. He's dinked him as well. God. He might be able to pull this off. That's 2 for Sunk, and they realize he's back upstairs. Sunk can go wherever he wants. He's going to run into it. No way!
He goes straight down the vent into Oreos, and little does he know that's exactly where Oreos had run away to. Anticipating a re-hit into the lower site, going down that ramp, but instead, he just finds him in his arms.
Oh my God, he should. See, here's the thing. He dinked him on ramp. There's no way that he's expecting him to go all the way down ramp, through B, back into vent. There's no way he's expecting him to do that. There's no reason that he should say, hey, he's there. Honestly, at that point, he should have just stayed upstairs and just planted. But again, hindsight's 2020, and all these weapons are going to come in outside.
All right, so somewhere CKG gets a knife kill. It doesn't really matter. Sure. Still Akimbo just sort of, okay, he dropped off of a mini and knifed somebody in the back.
That's awesome.
Assassin's Creed and somebody.
Bye, Oreos.
All right, bye, Oreos. The same player.
All right, 3 maps, 4 disconnects.
Here we go.
Wait, you didn't run anti. Wait, I just heard him say something about anti-cheat. My bad.
Oh, man. I think the other team said something about him getting like kicked by anti-cheat.
Oh
I think that's what happened
because
we just got another response in return to that.
Oh.
That's funny.
Thank you, cameraman, for catching that.
Oh, that's great. Beautifully done by our cameraman. I'm not sure if it's Cheese or Cam at this point doing cameraman because I know that Cam was doing it for a bit.
Yeah, it was King for a minute there. And
okay, they're just passing.
Still
King,
or is it Cheese? It's Cheese.
It's Cheese.
Yep, Cheese is back. So King was giving Cheese a second because, you know, he's been holding that camera for a long time, and his arms are getting a little tired. And so, you know what, King wanted to have some fun with it. Oh,
Okay. So
So
production
Oreo,
typed
okay.
out to us. They got a Google Doc that they've just like put a large font onto, and every now and then when they need to relay information to us, they'll just type it out there. So the player who got knifed disconnected, and they thought he was playing anti-flash, so he just kind of sent it. 1,500. I mean, $1,500 in your back pocket. That's nice.
We take it.
Yeah, we take it. And well, Oreos is just gonna have to accept the fact that he's given some extra money over to CKG.
Yeah. Oreo's saying that the chat's saying that Oreo's is sexy. You know what? He's a good-looking guy. I'll give you that one. Yeah.
I don't know if I've gotten a chance to talk to him very much so far. I don't think I've met Oreos.
No, but I can see him in camp. So
I met S5J. We interviewed him, and I believe I talked to him for a little bit as well. Sunk into the feed with this AK. It's a 4v4 right now. Akimbo got that opening pick. Vent destroyed through the squeaky door here for Zomblers. But a double kill from Ramp. Oreos providing impact that was necessary for Akimbo to try and convert this bonus round. Glorns will go back up the vent. So, alone on the A site here, trying to hold on for their dear life, and Dante finally rotates in as well. So the A site is the one that feels weak. Bomb still needs to be recovered. Glorns re-clearing lobby right now. So much information for Akimbo to start to gather.
yeah, but they
here.
could be outside. See, that's the thing. Like, just because he's in lobby doesn't mean they can't be outside. Sunk's gonna go ahead and wrap back around.
The
Heaven
thing
will be
is,
the smart play here.
he's holding, we've got a bit more proactive angles towards ramp, so they know that they're either hell or outside, like you said. So now they can start to piece this together and possibly find out that it's going to be an upper hit. It'll have to be a heads-up fight from Glorns. They play off the site.
They're just gonna play retake. If
Yeah.
it is A, they're just gonna play retake. And if it's B, they have everybody downstairs. S5J is gonna finally come downstairs. That should indicate at least one's coming from B.
They have kits in play as well, and a kill comes through. All up with CKG in the 1v3. He got a knife kill, but can he convert with the rifle? He gets one onto Glorns. There's two more bringing the hurt to him, and he's low HP as well. S5J knows that. He's just pre-firing every angle. They run him down, and Akimbo with a bonus round conversion.
Yeah, bonus round conversion there. And again, CKG could have potentially won that had he not been knocked down so low in that fight that he had with Glorns there. And so, you know, had he gotten a really clean fight there, he would have had the health to fight and potentially been able to win that fight out there. But you've got Prime right now sitting on 0 frags. Wow. Luke, Prime, and Serum sitting on 0 frags 3 rounds into the game. And it's going to take more than just the 8 kills from CKG and Sunk to get into this, because right now they are absolutely absent from this particular map. And again, if you're going to try to create a comeback, I know that Nuke is a technical map, but if there's any map that you're going to be able to do it on, we've seen so many time and time again, we've seen comebacks starting on Nuke, and this is the map to do it on, because it's just, you can really control the pace of play. This nade should land really nice, doing damage to 3 different people. Nice util damage coming in.
And just softening up some of those players as they try to cross that outside dark smoke. But
Oh
through the
my
smoke,
God, Dante,
Dante
that's
catches the
mean.
timing. Absolutely brutal. And Akimbo, they just can't do any wrong, it feels like right now. As Zomblers, once again, shambling away from an engagement. They'll go downstairs through Secret. They'll leave a lurk here. Luke 4K. But that Tech 9 is going to try and provide any impact. But as Akimbo start to rotate downstairs, they'll have 2 members to hold any hit that they try to throw at this B site.
Yeah, there's 2 players down there, S5J along with Oreos, 2 of the players that are kind of hitting hard right now. 2 of the players that, well, Oreos is. S5J has been doing that, especially in the last map. If nothing else, S5J hits hard with his vocals, and he likes to do some of the taunting and likes to do some of the bantering. I talked to him outside, and he's like, you know, none of his team likes to get loud, so he's the one that feels like he needs to carry that torch.
And if he gets a multi here, he'll make sure that Zomblers know it. He eventually peeks out, and he's going to catch an AK round to the face. So now CKG trying to scale out of that window position, jumping down in towards Dark. Sunk with a double kill to try and open up this site, but now he's thrusted into a 1v2. He has to go absolutely massive here.
He knows
Kills
one's
deep.
outside.
Spotted out one towards ramp, and now he knows the other one's coming from Secret as well. Not sure if it's the decon door or the double door. He'll hear that double door open up, but he can't hold on as Glorns comes in. He'll put him down. 4-0 start for Akimbo, and like I said, they just can't seem to do any wrong.
No, they can't catch a break. Sunk sitting there just wondering what else he can do. He's trying to reposition himself. He's trying to give himself the best chance to win that particular fight, because Luke was outside, was trying to play the lurk, should have won that fight out, but it is a Tech 9 long range. all he could do is just buy time and try to prevent the CTs from going downstairs. Had he won that fight, that would have been a whole different story. That would have been, you know, Zomblers' first round. But now we've got AKs on the board, and honestly, I'm going to foreshadow this to be Zomblers' first round.
On a mid prediction now, Akimbo are going to try and deny that because they've been lights out so far. A 4-0 start is certainly a great way to start out what could be your closing map. It was a long and arduous journey here. Had a lot of struggles coming forward in the pools, and even in the playoffs, things weren't as comfortable as they would want it to be, but nonetheless, they're able to pull themselves together for this grand finals. They show exactly why they were the favorites to be here.
Yeah, and Dante's getting another kill through the smoke, 2 rounds in a row where he's just pretty much been able to pepper that smoke. And that's the beautiful part about that A1S is that you can't see the tracer. So when you start shooting, 1, it blows open the smoke, but 2, you don't know where the bullets are coming from, and you just start to die, and you're like, well, that's just the way it is. Because there's no tracers coming through the smoke there. And Dante's been able to take full advantage of that 2 rounds in a row. S5J's going to have a lot of work here to do once this door opens.
3 players coming in. He's going to get ready on this angle. The door opens. He takes down 1. A double kill as well. S5J, how do you find that much impact on top of that? That smoke gives him a lot to work around, and he's still finding impact through it. Sunk, now alone. 1v5 attempt. He gets 1 over towards ramp, trying to duck his head down. He's got so many angles to deal with, and Roka's closing in. S5J hurls just as many words at them as he did bullets.
Yeah, he's, you know, finishes off that fight there. Sunk left alone, and every single time it just seems like Zomblers are always in some sort of clutch. And right now it doesn't matter. You know, I was telling, you know, not telling, I was saying, you know, before we started this match that Zomblers need to be constantly throwing those outside smokes. But right now, honestly, I think they might need to stop throwing the smokes because Dante just keeps predicting when they're coming through. And that's just a seasoned player that is just good on his timing, and his instincts are on par. And Dante's going to do it again. He's going to go ahead and hang out outside, throw a nade. Serum's going to take a nade and, you know, fight this outside again. And this time it's just going to be 1 player outside. They're going to throw everybody back inside and try to see if they can execute. And my prediction of that being the there goes Oreos again.
I mean, this time, I mean, it was Oreos this time, but yeah, I feel like it's always Serum dying through the smokes, man. Yeah. And it's just, the guy can't catch a break. Still on 0 kills, 6 rounds deep.
Yeah, he's just, because he's dying before he even sees anybody. And it's just like, you know, when you're dying, to people you can't even see, you're dying into utility, you get frustrated because it's not even that you're losing fights. You're not even getting to fight.
S5J aggressive up in towards Trophy. He will be ready to respond if they go for this lobby pop. 1 player going up to T roof. I feel like that's to throw utility, so A-Site is going to be under scrutiny at this point. But Akimbo ready to respond. Glorn's close on this squeaky door. He's going to throw a smoke down, it seems. They'll hear some utility raining in. As soon as that door opens, he's going to try and throw down some utility to support himself. Throws it out, gets aggressive on the fight as well, but can't get away before it blooms. Prime takes him down, trades here for Zomblers, and Prime with a double kill to try and open up this round. Shooting up through the vent. I think Prime was able to see him, and Sunk gets a kill as well. Dante just sitting inside of the smoke, biding his time. The plant will go down, trying to work his way in. S5J will open it up. Sunk now out of the round, and it's either Prime or Luke who has to try and lock this one in as Dante works his way forward. He's caught between a weird crossfire going into the fight. Prime holds the angle and is ready for that. S5J into the clutch, but he can't quite deliver. So Zomblers finally able to find their way onto the board.
So that triple kill from Prime and that single frag from Luke are the first kills that they've gotten in this Nuke game, and that helps them get their first round on the board. But that's what they need. They needed somebody to go. They need somebody to go heavy, do some heavy lifting. Prime there with the triple kill. Again, those are his first 3 frags. You got to start instilling some confidence in your team. You got to start realizing that, hey, you know what? We can get some rounds. Now let's go and start stringing them together. Let's start hurting the economy of Akimbo. Let's start actually giving ourselves a chance to get some rounds on this half, and we can even win this 7-5.
But Oreos has picked up the AWP now. Can't quite connect that first shot. CKG trying to be the hero of this round, but he's quickly felled after his double kill. And on top of that, Dante's working his way into the back lines. Zomblers now the walking wounded. As they try to re-pivot into this lobby, they actually choose to go outside, which is the right choice. But I think Bomb is dropped in lobby right now.
No, Luke has a bomb.
Okay, Luke has it. All right. I thought I saw it blinking for a second there, but I guess I'm just going crazy. It's these lights in our face.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, and S5J, he heard the footsteps, but since they're not coming east side, he's going to go ahead and reposition himself to kind of fall back there, maybe thinking they're just taking their time, and they're going to go ahead and split up here. I don't like this choice because, again, it's better to play retake than it is to sit there and take 1v1 fights. Lawrence is just going to hang out downstairs, and unfortunately, Zomblers, with only 2 players, you can't clear everything. You're starting to run out of time, but the smart play is to go upstairs. The smart play is to go through heaven. Yeah, S5J is there. They have 2 flashes and 1 grenade, and there's 1 molly on the back of Luke. Question is, where do you place that Molotov? So, you know, you're going to throw it out potentially for Hut.
Yeah,
Throw it for Hut and just drop in. Leave 1 player upstairs. Luke's going to play downstairs, play the high-low game, and then now S5J has to wait for Glorance to come back up. They both have kits, so it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Luke goes searching. This could be a problem. He overextends and ends up dying without a proper trade, then they can eliminate these angles one by one. They'll start to throw in utility, trying to figure out where these players have tucked in. Sunk, he needs to be the hero of this round. It feels like from that heaven position as his teammate goes down.
Jesus.
No way! Akimbo are so ready for that setup. Zomblers just can't catch a break, man.
I mean, they had the positioning there, and again, the problem is, like you said, if Luke dies there, he can't get traded. He doesn't feel like he can go inside of Hut and reposition himself because then he can't get traded back. And then you've got who was behind him? It was Luke and whoever was up in heaven. He feels like he can't you know, expose himself. He's trying to play the game where it's like if they come up through heaven, they come outside. You know, he's got to stay there. So unfortunately, they were trying to create a crossfire, but it wasn't the best crossfire. And you've got that of the Zomblers who are just sitting there trying to figure out what to do. And again, it was Luke and Sunk, I think it was at that point.
Yeah, it was Sunk up in heaven.
And unfortunately, again, Sunk doesn't want to expose himself too much in Raptors. And again, hindsight's 2020 because he's waiting for people to come up heaven maybe. And so it's like, hey, you know, Luke, you just have to win that fight. Ultimately, it does boil down to Luke, like you have to win that fight. You got to come out, you got to hit those headshots. And unfortunately, if you're going to put yourself in that close position, you know, that's a great place to be at, but you still have to hit those fights. I mean, maybe I would have preferred Luke to maybe go on top of HUD to get a better angle on Mini. But again, it's hindsight.
Throws out that smoke to HUD, trying to prevent the proposal through, but nonetheless, they're able to come out and Prime with some kills of his own. Break open this A site. Plant goes down. Not much contention there from Dante, and now he's all alone as S5J goes down. Zomblers with a 2nd round on the board, trying to stop this bleeding from Akimbo. Wait, does Dante go up and go for... He doesn't have kit. Okay, there's no way he pulls off. There's surely no way he pulls off this round.
Maybe go for some kills, or maybe just tap on the bomb and... Maybe tap on the bomb and get somebody to come back. I was going to say, like, if there's a kid in heaven, look how far... I mean, the only person who's staying is Serum. Sunk has got to get as far away from the bomb as possible. Look at that. He's already in the parking lot.
Yeah, Dante will back off as well. Thought maybe he was going to go for something a little bit cheeky there, but he chooses to play it safe, save that rifle over into the next. The economy isn't actually as great for some of these members as you would want it to be. They're actually kind of on the back foot here now.
It's pretty bad.
This is Zombler's best way back into the series.
Yeah, the economy's pretty bad, and even though they've been winning rounds, they haven't really had the opportunity to keep that many players alive. I wonder if there's a way... Hey, Respect, can you hit tab? I want to see how many players are left alive in those rounds that they were doing everything. I don't know if we were able to hit tab just so I can see that, but, you know, it's chill. Because it just seems like, you know, even though they've won 6, it doesn't seem like they have a ton of money to... I don't know if they've had a lot of players left alive. Roka with the XM. We haven't seen the XM come out. This is the first time we've ever seen it, and he gets 1 there, making himself some money. And S5J is inside the smoke. He's going to roll this down. That's a double kill. Oh, my God.
That MP9 just rips through Zomblers. They have a low economy, yet still making it work. Akimbo are on a tear right now. Sunk trying to wrestle things back. A kill with that AWP. And Serum stranded in this A-bomb site. He could get caught on a timing, but he looks back towards Vent. Roka now out of the round.
They're stringing this back together.
Trying to reconvene inside of lobby. They'll go back in towards the A site, but now Oreos, he's here ready over towards Mini, and he tries to swing through.
He hit him to the smoke?
Oh my God, what a proactive shot. Now a double fakes in through heaven. They have to try and drop in, burning away on the Molotov. Dante just has to drop out. He's
I wish
in their
we had
Inferno
replays.
now.
I wish we had replays.
Unbelievable.
I wanted to see that one back.
They'll set up for the flash play. Everything lies on S5J, and Serum turns the flash. He doesn't turn the second one, but S5J doesn't clear it, and now it's all left up to Dante, but there's so little time. He has to drop out of heaven, and Serum just shuts him right down.
Akimbo turned that into a 5v2, and somehow Serum and Sunk, the two S's on the team, pair up together to get themselves a full house and piece together that round, and one by one, they pick and pluck Akimbo out of the air and somehow scrap together a third and put Akimbo on a pistol buy. The first time I've seen Akimbo actually on the back foot, on the back lines here, backs against the wall. It's the first time I've seen this in a long time.
All 5-7s here from Akimbo. God, if we see this round pull through, I won't know what to say anymore, Ice. The worst part is Akimbo have been on fire with these 5-7s.
Okay, thank you.
Lawrence goes down first, 5v4 for Zomblers. There needs to be a multi. There needs to be somebody who goes massive here for Akimbo. Rope is tucked in towards the squeaky door. Just bide his time away, but anticipated in this position, CKG just prey fires, and there's no way for him.
He heard the ding, so he knew he was there.
Now the 5-7 from heaven. S5 doing whatever he can, but the pistols just can't keep up. And Zomblers, is this how they get back into the series? Is this their ticket back into the grand finals?
This is them literally being able to not only breathe a sigh of relief, but they can finally start to feel like they're doing something and the momentum is going, and they're like, okay, you know, we finally are starting to crack this hard-boiled egg open, and we're starting to peel shell by shell just to get to that golden yellow inner yolk. But there's still a lot of work to be done. But 3 M4s for Akimbo. Instead of having a really good round, they're going to just full go on this one. And if they lose this round, we're going to see 2 similar back-to-back rounds with very low buys and util lacking for Akimbo.
Akimbo, for what feels like the first time in forever, are kind of on the back foot. They might have the lead in terms of the round, but this could quickly spiral out of control.
Oh, Dante can tear this all apart right here.
Does he really just face through the smoke?
No,
he'll
he just
tuck
goes
in.
inside garage.
He gets a little bit paranoid about Zomblers just trying to work something outside towards big garage, so he'll just tuck in and bide his time and wait. The issue with that is Zomblers have now rotated down to the lower site. It seems like they could be poised to strip this round away. Everything is up to S5J. He needs to post something. He'll peek up from the steps, gets a lot more than it seems like he bargained for as he gets one run down by Sunk. There's a quick response coming in from Secret, though. They could find themselves with back turn, but they managed well. Those AKs are able to hold on. Now the last remaining players down towards the lower site, and Serum is able to strip away one more. Oreo is the last one remaining, and he knows that they're spread out across the map. He tries his best against Sunk, but just gets put on the ground.
Yeah, I saw Luke playing that that kind of lurk position, but last time he only had a Tech 9. This time he had an AK and won his fight. Everybody else winning their fights downstairs. S5J just with that MP9. He gets one. Honestly, I would have preferred him to back up. He did peek his head back up and gets taken out by Sunk. And this is confidence building back up for Zomblers, and we could easily see a 6-6 half. Roka's got the XM again. He got one last time, but I would love to see him get multiple. Just kind of hold that left mouse button down.
If Roka gets a multi here, S5J will never let Zomblers live it down. He's been so vocal this entire game, and losing to an XM would just be devastating here for Zomblers. At the very least, they've recovered this half. Up to 5, that's fine for your T side of Nuke. It just means you gotta do a little bit of heavy lifting on your CT side, and a pistol conversion is all you really need to get back into the fray. Roka, though, with that XM, already taking one out of the mix here, and Molotov's cut them off from any trades as well. Zomblers operating at a deficit.
Yeah, you can't let Roka get that kill and not get traded back, and he didn't even take that much damage. Like, the fact that he got that kill.
They try to flush these players out of position, but they just hold firm, and there's no hit behind it for Zomblers. Now they start will walk in. That MP9 just shreds through one. Serum quick to trade it back. Glorin's now taking up that mantle, holding towards the squeaky door, and they're being assaulted from the back as well. They pinch into lobby, and Zomblers just can't hang on. It's 7-5 at the end of the half. Akimbo keep the lead.
Yeah, they keep the lead, and that was a situation where it could have easily been 6-6. And, you know, that opening frag from Roka there with the XM, and then everyone just kind of crunching inside lobby. It's like, all right, they slowed the pace of play down. And honestly, in that round, I would have kind of liked to see Zomblers kind of get a little bit more aggressive and maybe just do like a fast A-pop. And you're looking at the operas between each other, and I've hardly even seen Oreos even get an off. And he's got, you know, less frags, but he's got more assists, he's got more deaths. I mean, it's just, but his, I mean, it's like Sunk is actually doing better as far as statistically goes, but the rounds just don't seem to be going in the favor.
Oh my god! One tap out of the dualies. Prime quick to be traded back though. It's now the USPs that have to try and hold on to ramp control here. They'll keep things in man advantage here for Zomblers, but Akimbo get down towards the lower site. A smoke up towards the decon door. Serum will bide his time and wait. There's no plant immediately. Everybody barreling down the vent right now. They're just going to go for a straight retake. Numbers advantage, and they're going to try and be the hammer to the nail right now. Oreo's reclearing ramp. As he reclears this, if he gets just that little bit of information and starts to confirm that there's more and more members over towards this backside, Dante can just sort of tuck in and bide his time and wait. They'll break open the control room window. Dante gets that first, but it's all left up to Oreos, and he can't hold on. Zomblers with their best chance back into it.
So I'm taking a look at this. You know, that's a 6th round on the board for Zomblers, but I'm taking a look at this map specifically. Zomblers have only had one successful opening frag in 13 rounds. Okay, technically Prime got that one right there. So they've had two opening advantages in 13 rounds. And
somehow they're
holding on. So literally they're doing the opposite effect of what Akimbo did to them on Mirage when Zomblers had majority of the opening frag. So Akimbo are pretty much having to fight from a deficit almost every single round. 2 out of 13 rounds they've had a man advantage, and most of the time they're quickly traded back.
There's a force buy here, though, from Akimbo. They get that bomb plan down and a lot of kills on top of that. So they're comfortable going for the force here and trying to break Zomblers' economy early on into their CT side. It's a spread effort right now. Nobody committing to anything quite yet. Feels like once a pin drops, though, Akimbo are going to try and lunge at the juggler of Zomblers. The shots out of Prime. Just choose to back off. Dante scaring him away from ramp. And now I feel like they're pivoting towards this lower site potentially. One over towards Secret. Serum just trying to hold on, not overcommitting, not giving up his life, but an opening kill here for Akimbo. Can Zomblers continue to operate at this deficit? Can they continue to stack up rounds when they have not gotten openers?
Yeah, Luke knows they're wrapping around. He heard those footsteps.
Pivoting to help. He's going to go up to heaven. Luke holds on, trying to get a kill long range with that MP9. Softens them up. The M4 now peppering away. A massive HG comes in, but it's still this 3v3. Finally, advantage given over to Zomblers. They're going to start planting towards the back of the site. Akimbo trying to hold on from the silos, but they're losing members. They're losing bodies, and Zomblers are gaining chances into this grand final.
There's a total of 29, 19, 48 HP between the last 3 players of Zomblers. But the fact that 3 players are left alive means that they can start building their money up and they can start doing what they need to do to start rolling some of these rounds together. And, I mean, at this point, I mean, it's just Zomblers are fighting back. They're having fun. They're hitting hard. And, you know, that's starting to ring true. Like, hey, you know what? Screw strats. Just have some fun. Play reactive Counter-Strike. Go do stuff. And now we've got a tied game here. And you've got Sunk on 15 frags right now. He's had 5 multi-kills, almost 120 ADR on him right now. He's been the hero of the Zomblers at the moment. And we just need a few more heroes for them to make this go into map 4 at a minimum. And Akimbo, everybody's had multi-frags except for Roka. Roka's the only person who actually hasn't had any multi-frags.
Yeah, he's been kind of quiet here on Nuke, but because of that plant, Akimbo want to go for yet another buy. An AK in the hands of Glorins. Can he really be a difference maker in this round? It's full rifles here for Zomblers. As they prepare themselves for another force buy here from Akimbo. Oh my god, Dante just gets shut down outside. They lose their secret presence, but Prime taken down over towards ramp. Now a hole found in the Zomblers defense. They need to start evacuating and getting into some panic positions. Down towards Decon, one will go. Luke is going to try and disrupt this lower site hit as Serum gets one of his own. They're going to start to split these players across multiple angles. Planting safe from the Decon door. Good heads-up decision by Akimbo, and now Oreos is starting to wrestle things back, but sunk into the fray. He gets traded back. Oreo's trying to be the hero right now. Brings us to a 2v2. And Akimbo just looking to try and hold on. Denies Zomblers from stacking up these rounds and taking the lead. CKG with one of his own. Gorans with this hero AK has to try and pull through. He brings it to a 1v1. Bomb planted for him. Time in his favor, but a kit on Serum's back. He'll tap that bomb back away. Goran just spamming through. Around the silo, Serum will go, and Zomblers keep pushing forward.
They take the lead there. We have an 8-7 scoreline as Serum, instead of sticking that bomb and doing a ninja defuse, he taps on it, and this time it works out. He walks around through the smoke. The retake on that lower site is actually successful. And finally, Zomblers have the lead here in this half after force buy after force buy after force buy coming in from Akimbo. At what point do they just take a half buy, or what point do they just take an eco? But the bomb keeps getting planted, so the force buy keeps coming in. And that's the problem you run into, is that if you don't keep multiple players alive when you're on the CT side, when you start racking up the bomb plant plus the loss bonus, you can literally just keep rebuying on the T side. So unfortunately, you just create a bigger problem for yourself.
Zomblers haven't had the lead since round 18 on Overpass. Let that sink in. Finally, they're able to break through, and it feels like a weight is lifted off their chest now. But Akimbo are looking to just reapply that pressure as they buy up once again these bomb plants, facilitating more rifles by the round. And Akimbo refuse to relent right now. Low on utility. He's going to try and punish that. Outside, Serum will get aggressive, but he gets caught with a high-low setup. And Akimbo with a potential way into the round as they start to spread out and try and split this map.
CKG's got to be ready for this potential wrap here. He's up in heaven. He's not even paying attention to what could potentially be coming outside. He's going to have to keep his head on a swivel. He's going to have to be looking both at ladder and outside the door. And that's sunk with a kill back. That's great for them.
Control of lobby established now. 5J's kind of going to be reeling from that one, feeling like he let that one slip away. Now Heaven is under scrutiny because CKG has just parked the brakes here and refused to move. They can't really net him out of this position, it feels like. He's just sort of tucked in. It's such a hard position to clear out. Prime now coming back in from Trophy. He'll swing into him. What a heads-up shot from Dante.
Wow.
He's so ready for an angle like that. Akimbo still diligent on these clears. They'll go down towards the lower site, and it's a quick rotate from Zomblers.
At what point is CKG just going to go ahead and move?
He overcommits before the rest of his team. And look at him. He knows exactly what he just did. He's now given a man advantage to Akimbo as that bomb goes down. It's left to CKG and Luke 4K to try and split this site. Luke 4K, first one. He's got to try and pay forward for more. CKG with one of his own. Now inside the smoke, Oreos tries to hold on. Spots that one over towards Decon. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. He has to isolate these duels. He gets the first one right above him. Akimbo just refused to relent. Oreos is a hero for this team.
He gets the final kills. He puts himself at the back against the wall to make sure that CKG couldn't actually get a shot on him, and Luke peeks out and unfortunately loses that fight out. And when CKG comes in to try to help him out, he's not able to win that fight. And the fact that Oreos can win that fight from lower to upper, it was crazy. And you've got Sunk that went in and is just shaking his head, realizing, like you said, he put his team in a disadvantageous position to basically give over that round.
Sunk now caught out outside. He catches a nade over towards red. Man deficit again for Zomblers, but this is where they've thrived, weirdly enough. And it's on a low buy, so if Akimbo get over aggressive here, if they overplay their hand, then maybe Zomblers can hold on here. It's still tied scoreline. Both teams on the brink of economic ruin. So much lines on round 17.
So much lies up right here to set themselves up for who's going to go ahead and actually take this series. Zomblers have not given up. They're starting to get tilted. They're starting to get into their own heads here. They're starting to play, you know, individual hero moments when they need to start playing like a team. and they're starting to have these tilt moments, and that you've got to just start erasing those things. And this is where a more seasoned team is going to be better off. They're going to be able to erase anything that happens here. Nice shot from Luke there. That's needed right now, but S5J quickly traded back. CKG is out of the round.
Zomblers still at a man deficit, and this round is starting to just really play out to low time. They'll have to make a decision in towards lobby. S5J will get yet another one, and it feels like it's kind of done and dusted for Zomblers because they go towards the upper site. Akimbo now have access to a free bomb plant, and Prime's left alone. He'll pick up a kit, but what is he going to do with it? 5-7 in hand, gets one, but brought so low, and he's locked into hut. Akimbo makes sure that that's his grave.
Yeah, the comeback that was something is now been erased. You have Akimbo who's sitting here saying, hey, you know what? It's fine. You can have the lead, but we're going to take it back. It is ours. It's our territory. This is our map. We're going to go ahead and dominate. And Akimbo, you know, they're feeling good. They're feeling themselves. Lawrence is going to go ahead and stay on that M4. He likes that. Half-buy coming in from Zomblers. Yeah, we've seen half-buys win out, but not when you don't have any armor. Nobody has armor on the Zombler side. And you just got to play rat positions. You got to be able to play trades. And if they go down ramp, Prime's going to be in trouble. This is a hard position to clear.
This is a real test to whether or not how broken the 5-7 is. Can he hold on when that's all he has to lean on? Not even armor to protect him. And a nade will go in, so much damage off of it. And with that, Akimbo even this up to a 4v4.
Yeah, I mean, an unarmored opponent takes so much damage from a grenade. It's kind of crazy. Like, you can do 98 damage if you landed right on top of them. And so he was pretty low, and that nade just took him out. Just having armor, he would have plenty of time to be able to fight. But again, it's a 4v4, 50 seconds left as they're walking downstairs, and all of Zomblers are still on this upper site. Actually, I lied. There's 4 downstairs. They're all downstairs. Uh-oh. Don't do this, Akimbo. Don't walk into the stack. They're all downstairs. This is crazy.
They have no
This
idea
might
that
actually
they're
work
walking
out.
into
This
it.
gamble might actually work out if they go downstairs. But they're not moving. The bomb is still on ramp. It's still in ramp roof. They're not moving. They're waiting for Zomblers to make a move, and they're like, all right, we're going to go downstairs. And Zomblers going to open the door and say, surprise.
But it's such low weaponry. 2 USPs, a 5-7 and a deagle. They need to catch him off guard here. Heads up fight from S5J. Just jiggles out and tries to spot them over here towards control room. Condor opens up, Serum run down, Luke with one of his own, the USP somehow finding impact, but it's just not enough. CKG, he has to close. He has to do it with a 5-7. First one found, headshot at close range.
Oh, he got it!
In the back, Zomblers are just right on their tail.
The pistol round, they had 2 USPs. They had 2 people who didn't even buy into it. They had 2 5-7s and a deagle, and they still managed to pull it off. Like I said, Akimbo walked into the stack. They opened those doors and they said surprise. They somehow pulled it off. Oh my God. That has got to be a sigh of relief. They've got to be feeling good about themselves right now. Oh my God. That was crazy. To tie the game back 9-9.
I mean, how wild is it? I talked about Zomblers not touching the lead since round 18 of Overpass, and now we're tied up at 9-9. The exact thing that they looked down the barrel of when Akimbo started to mount a comeback, and it's round 18 where Zomblers finally break through and crack the mental of
Prime's
Akimbo.
gonna need to go Prime.
Let's go absolutely nuclear here on ramp. He throws that nade, he just tries to back away. He doesn't want to overplay his hand. Like you said, they need to play like a team right now, but he has to shine as an individual. It's that first one on the S5J. Another one coming in. He gets traded back, but now Sunk is in from Decon, trying to correct his errors from rounds before.
2v2.
They get that bomb down. And the retake is on here. Zomblers, they're playing like they have nothing to lose.
And they don't.
At this point, you throw everything at the wall that you can.
Including the kitchen sink.
Go up towards control. Opening up that double door is Luke. They're going to try and split these angles. It's just such a hard position to work out. A Molotov to try and cut off at as many angles as they can, but they're caught between this crossfire. Lawrence from ramp, he's just so hard to root out. And on top of that, Luke is starting to run out of time. He'll back away. This round belongs to Akimbo. Zomblers just cannot pull away.
They keep fighting. They keep trying to retake. They keep winning some fights, and then they keep losing some fights. Luke has to run away from that situation. How are you supposed to clear rafters and ramp at the same time? You have to expose yourself to one or two of the angles, and that ramp player did a great job of protecting his rafters player in case they came in from single as well. So you have one watching single, one watching double, just assuming they're not coming down ramp. And that's a 10th for Akimbo, but it's not over yet because, again, we've got 5-7s and Deagles in the mix. And we saw what happened last time. And we saw Zomblers somehow pull a round out of the old Magician's hat.
Can they replicate that? Can they truly do it again? The match is starting to drag on. Fatigue sets in. You've been playing for so long. 2 days straight of nothing but Counter-Strike. And can you continue to pull rounds like this out of your hat? Can you dig even deeper? Will Akimbo finally be able to put these zombies in the dirt for the last time? Serum, he slipped the net, he catches the timing. Roka's a dead man, and now he's able to catch a couple in the back as well. They have no idea. Serum gets in it, CKG in the fray as well, eventually taken down. Somehow Akimbo still hold on to man advantage despite that hectic situation.
But they have a chance.
They do. It's a Deagle on Luke 4K, and CKG's M4 working its way up. Secret, they're watching Secret. Luke 4K. He's actually the one who's stuck with towards Secret. It's so hard for him to work these angles with the Deagle, but somehow he makes it work. And CKG from the back line as well chimes in over towards Heaven, the last remaining player. It's Oreos again, the same man who broke you just rounds before, put to another 1v2 clutch.
But he knows that he did damage. He knows that he's low. The fact that Oreos is downstairs planting the bomb.
They're both so low. Little does Luke know.
Oh, it's going to take him forever to get there.
Especially if he goes a quiet.
Oh, he's going to...
He finds out to the lower site now. That pin drops. He thought it was A for a second, but now does he have to say? He has to say. He's flustered because he doesn't want to give 11 to Akimbo, but he has to. And now Akimbo on the precipice of a 3-0 close in the grand finals.
9-11 scoreline. Luke has to save this because it's going to have to be a save. They're going to have to play for the tie. This is so unfortunate.
That one hurts. That one hurts.
They had a chance. If that 5-7, CKG's 5-7, he needed to get that second kill, but he's stuck with the 5-7. Why didn't he switch to the M4? Why he picked it up? He should have stuck with it, and I don't foresee that magazine being dry. And he's still stuck with a 5-7 because he turned around. They knew they were outside. He should have just, I don't know why he didn't go with the...
I mean, you're just caught in a hectic moment. You don't know what to do. He was clearly trying to rotate back towards Mini, but then felt like he was caught in a fight, tried to commit, then he frantically tried to fall back. It was so hectic, but you need that clarity in rounds like that, in moments like that. That is the difference maker in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, the nerves are getting to them.
It's the nerves, it's the fatigue. Everything sets in, but Akimbo have momentum, and that's what matters.
They got momentum. They got AKs. They've also got Oreos for days.
Running on a bit of a sugar high.
There's one kid in play. CKG at least has a kid. 2 players have armor. CKG stuck at 2,600. They're playing for the tie, but we've seen 5-7s go crazy. We've seen them go ham.
We've seen everything.
The SJJ doesn't clear this. He doesn't clear this.
He kind of does, but it's so shallow, and Prime's just so deep into that corner. Dante at least finds a kill of his own, so things are kept at a 4v4. Luke is all the way back at spawn. He hasn't been able to work his way out, and now there's a late piece set up inside of Hell. Oreos with one of his own. Prime trying to work his way in. He catches Oreos unaware. That could be his way back in. He's got an AK in hand. Bomb being stuck. And another one for Serum.
Okay.
That Deagle rings out. They try to work their way back in, try to close that gap and to secure double digits of their own. Does Serum just go through the smoke? No way. And Roka holds on. It's a 2v2. They try to scale into the site. Prime's one of his own. And it's going to come through here for Zomblers. They keep staying alive. These guys just refuse to die.
Zomblers refuse to go back in the grave. That is Dr. Jekyll injecting life back into a zombie and creating a Mr. Hyde. Actually, it's the other way around, right?
Yeah. Jekyll's the
Jekyll's actually
evil
the
one.
evil one now.
Yep.
You know what I meant.
I know what he meant. I'm picking up what you put down. My God, though. Double digits for both teams. 22 rounds in. And we might be going all of regulation as Akimbo are economically ruined. They're going to play for the next. It's a light investment of upgraded pistols, and they leave enough reserve cash so that they can buy AKs into the next. The absolute train being run into hell. Serum's going to try and cut them off. Prime over towards ramp, overwhelmed.
What?
2 kills coming in from these pistols. They're just playing the numbers game, trying to overwhelm whoever they can. And Zomblers have to try and react. A missed shot out of Sunk's off, and now he's out of the round. Dante with that recovered AK is making the difference right now. Is this how Akimbo get match point? Another low-buy victory?
It's low-buy after low-buy after low-buy.
It's just both these teams are refusing to relent, and no matter what they have to do to scrap it together, they'll do what it takes.
But there's 2 low players. That's the only thing that's going for Zomblers, is that Dante and Glorens together have 51 HP. Dink by any of these weapons is done. M4 can do some damage, and there's kits on both of their backs. Lawrence is going upstairs. He's got the bomb. If he drops that bomb, if he gets exposed and drops that bomb on site, they're in trouble.
Dante didn't even have armor, and he's 2 kills deep right now in this round. His impact has been felt. Now he needs to rely on his team to possibly clean it up. Is CKG known at this vent? I think he might have jiggled out, and they saw the barrel. No, he'll peek out, eventually found. He tries to activate here from Mini,
wow.
But Oreos just shuts it down, and Luke now trying to rotate his way back up. I feel like you have to give this one a whirl. You may as well, but it's just such a rough economic position.
You can't.
He doesn't have a way in. A full belt of utility, a kit, and an AK, and you have no way in. Akimbo absolutely break Zomblers' backs with that one.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it was just a pistol round, and I mean, again, it was just a pistol round, and I was kind of afraid that I was going to see that situation there where it's like, don't sit there and do to the Zomblers what the Zomblers just did to you. And that's exactly what happened. And now we've got a 12-10 scoreline, 2 chances for Akimbo to close this out, and the buy is okay. I mean, Luke has the AK. Sunk is still able to afford an AWP. I mean, again, there's a chance. Like the util's actually pretty decent as well for Zomblers. So again, you sit down, you play smart, you reset, realize that, you know what, you can still pull this off. You have to go to overtime, and then you give yourself a chance in this game. But that's Oreos with the opening frag onto Sunk, trying to make a play, and unfortunately, that's Sunk with the off out of the round. Serum's going to try to make a play with this MP9, get outside. He's not even good for 1.
That's another round where it feels like Sunk overplays his hand. Now Luke Porquet doing everything he can to try and bring this one back into the fold. A spam through the smoke, but eventually caught out. It's starting to slip away for Zomblers. They're dead men walking right now, and CKG is trying to recover. MP9 in hand, but it's not enough. Akimbo surge forward in the grand final, out of their seats now, and they are your champions of Clutch or Kick San Antonio.
Akimbo sit down, and they put to bed Zomblers. They put them back in the ground and turn them into zombies. Unfortunately for the Zomblers, that is the end of the road for them. Akimbo almost out of this tournament, give themselves a lifeline and come back and win this whole thing in a 3-0 fashion in a best-of-5. And we're seeing them, fist bump on LAN and, just shaking hands and being happy and hooting and hollering. But again, I just remember they were almost out of this tournament. They actually had to fight for their tournament life on multiple occasions. And, that was crazy. They sweep the Zomblers 3-0. And I really thought the Zomblers would have put up a little bit more of a fight. And I'm not saying that they didn't, but that last particular map, again, we've had 13-10 twice, and I think 13-8. On Overpasses or on Mirage. And so, again, the Zomblers have a lot that they can hang their hat on. They can hang their head up and say, we did a good job. We could have won. We could have done better. But, again, nothing wrong with that. Go back, look at the demos, and, come back swinging again because, I would love to see you guys again.
Many times, especially when opening this up, it was a bumpy road to get here.
Alrighty, we have returned, and I have the privilege of being alongside our champions here at the Clutch or Kick 2025 and the team captain of Akimbo, Glorens. First and foremost, dog.
What's going on, brother? How are ya?
I'm doing great, but how are you doing?
Am I allowed to curse?
I'd say avoid it if you can.
I am fucking pumped up right now, man. Especially with my team here. And just like we've been a team for a few seasons now, and I love all these fucking guys so much. and the amount of hard work we put in, especially from me, man. You know what I mean? Especially at 32 years old, still putting on for us old guys. Man, at the end of the day in gaming, age is kind of just a number. I guess unless you reach like 50 or something, but I'm still going to try to put on for us old guys, man.
Well, you sure put on a show. 3-0 in the grand final. I got to say, expectations were high coming in here. Maybe some shakiness over the group stage, but you guys locked it in when it mattered. Kind of talk to me what the mindset was coming into the grand final, where you guys are at.
Well, especially in the group stage, BO1s are definitely really tough. Lack of sleep, lack of like eating properly on the group stage day. Definitely didn't help us, especially going 2-2 in it. But today, you know what I mean, we all had a good nap and sleep last night. We ate pretty good today. We came in here fresh, fired up, ready to go. Especially wanting to bounce back. I feel like especially when we lose, we always bounce back and we kind of fix our stuff pretty quickly. So I felt like honestly, losing yesterday actually helped us a lot. You know what I mean? It's kind of getting our heads out of our asses and bringing the heat today for sure.
Well, y'all definitely did that. And you specifically actually playing damn well. Talking about bringing it for the old guys. Well, I mean, clearly still capable of pulling it off in the server. Is being on LAN just such a different beast? Is that a huge buff for you?
Personally, I love it because especially for my teammates, they're all West Coast, so every one of our matches and past advanced matches and all our turn matches, they're all on 70 ping. Playing against people who are on 520 ping, so it's definitely a boost of confidence for our team, especially myself too, because I'm from Canada. Whenever I play Texas or Denver, I also have 60 ping too, and it's definitely really hard. So I would say definitely yes, especially from LAN, playing a boost. You know what I mean? All of us being together, bonding, and it's definitely a 10 out of 10 atmosphere for sure.
Well, let me talk about your opponent in Zomblers, because this is actually a rematch. You guys played in the Elite Cup not very long ago, and I know it's not the full Zomblers roster, but they got the better of you in that one. What specifically was cool about playing Zomblers in this final, considering it's that rematch?
Yeah, well, definitely the first thing that I saw them coming here, I wanted the rematch bad. Like, they got phenomenal players. Like, Sunk is phenomenal. That guy's off is dirty.
He farmed.
That guy is sorry if I'm cursing, that's just how I talk. That guy is fucking insane. He's insane. Serum is nuts. He definitely blew up these past few seasons. That guy he's going to be insane. And then Luke's a beast too. I mess with Luke a lot. Good guy also. And then Prime and CKG. I think last time I played them was like OSS or something. And them two are definitely up and comers too, big time. So, like, even though they're mostly a pug, I still want to beat them, especially at their core, because I honestly think highly of them, highly respect them, and I think all of those guys are phenomenal players.
Well, that they are. One final question. It's been 10 years since you lifted in this sort of metaphorical LAN trophy, and I just got to say, it's first and foremost super awesome to see somebody keep it at it and being able to have that sort of breadth and length of career. But second of all, what does that mean for you, being able to have that amount of time between trophy lifts and still be doing it?
Yeah, well, I definitely took a long year break due to the personal problems, having to work and stuff. So luckily with my new schedule, I'm able to put in a lot more hours with CS. So it's either with me in life, if I can't commit to like 80 to 100% in something, I'm not even going to bother doing it. So I took like multiple year-long break from Counter-Strike, and since I came back, I've been grinding. Our team's been putting in a lot of work, and winning from 10 years ago into now, I don't know. I guess it's inspirational to others. You know what I mean? Just keep putting in that work no matter where your age is, and who knows.
That's amazing. That's awesome. That's amazing to hear, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us as well afterward. Congrats on the win. Absolutely
Vincent,
incredible.
Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure, brother. Much love, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
100%. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'll take that from you. And with that, we're going to get things rolling on getting these guys paid out directly. It's going to be a great time. We're going to bring them all in and get things rolling. And with that, we have Team Akimbo, your 2025 in ACS Clutch or Kick champions.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you. you guys, for real. This is awesome. Thank you. Great tournament. Thank you so much.
You guys are so good.
Thank you.